Yeah, man, up, man. See? All right, yeah, man. Hey, Rattigan, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Man in the wilderness.
Man, I tell you. Just because of you, me I learn how to use computer now, and get technologically savvy. Yeah. Because you force me to do it,
Yeah, man, but we have to do it, man. We have to do it. And keep it real. Yeah. So I tell him the task, so we hold government accountable. Review. We get some nice review last night. And we are here and we just hold them accountable. But me, I'll show you a video as you come on, you see?
Yeah.
A video it disturbing. And this is what me I talk about, You see, when you have government where me no know. You remember the youth where him talk something about the Prime Minister and then go under the bed theme, right? Police tweet where a breaches of rights, right? And then now you have a next youth talk and then when you look, police I say, yo, apologize to the big man. And a democratic state we in again. Now, me see the youth yesterday, few days ago, and by a quint, me see the youth under duress. I apologize, but I'm turning him eye just to come eye look. And you know, so them send man theme. These things need to stop. You see, some of the youth, what about another and them things now got dead. We need to stop do these things to these guys. Don't make none of them politician guy a whole, only them no run go bully who no grow up with. All them under listen, we need to stop on the foolishness. Yeah? When them not use police, them use some man will claim say them are done. I remember I not dead, them are dead for you, All right, look here.
Right, I do for my community right now, because right now, me dark and fed up, because me I drive my taxi on the road this morning, and the whole thing, me say a policeman come tell me, say, a 5 grand thing that loan him I give me for the day. So watch out, me live in our community and me a shower man. This fucking man, him not do nothing for my community. Me I tell you brother, all thing the man a fucking do for my community, I fuck up my community over and over and over. Right now, I get so fucking fed up. Do you make all that hurt me? I put on all my darkers. Come back again now. You might eat that, Because I'm come boy, I'm a clown, I'm a big mascot. Alright. You see that one now? That one here? That one here, bumbo clown. As a show one man, me I tell you something. That man here a big mascot. The man send soldier over fucking 80 for go fight war. How you want to do? Make the man them over 80 over the bumbo class soldier them. Yo, something wrong with all that man, brother. My brother, I don't know what liberate I do for my community right now. Because right now, me dark and fed up. Because me I drive my taxi on the road this morning. And the whole thing, me say a policeman come tell me, say, a 5 grand thing that loan him I give me for the day. So watch out. Me live in our community and me a shower man. This fucking man, him not do nothing for my community. Me I tell you brother, all thing the man a fucking do for my community, I fuck up my community over and over and over. Right now I get so fucking fed up. Do you make all that hurt me? I put on all my darkers. Come back again now. You might eat that, Because I'm come boy, I'm a clown, I'm a big mascot. Alright. You see that one now? That one here? That one here bumbo clown. As a show one man, me I tell you something, that man here a big mascot. The man send soldier over fucking 80 for go fight war. How you want to do? Make the man them over 80 over the bumbo class soldier them. Yo, something wrong with all that man, brother. You see that him? See him when you see him? The man, brother. Me I got work today, brother. Me I try my taxi on the road, brother. Police pull up on me, brother. But baby seat up in a blood clot car. Which baby seat up in a car. A 2-5 grand ticket, the man blood clot him this morning. 2-5 grand ticket. Tell me now, what am I for do? I rob the man who I rob and go thief. When the man see me go lick down all that brings man, brother, and go take all 2 money. You go hear say me a criminal. And me I do what is wrong. Yo, talk to me nice now, man. God, if you fix up yourself, fix up the folly ground. You not do right. You fuck up. My mother straighten the blood clot wound up.
Nah, I hear you.
Yes. Him do that thing there, right? I don't care if him do it, if I agree reality hour. But him do it, and then this come up now after. Look on this.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Anjolis. I'm so sorry.
Look on this now.
Morning, Mr. Dada morning, Mr. Anjolis. I am so sorry for my indecent language.
You show him look?
My misbehavior, and I never drive a taxi before. And I'm sorry about what I done. I'm so sorry, Mr. Anjolis. I'm so sorry, Mr. Dada Williams. And I will never do it again.
Remember now, you talk about Jamaica now. I play about this. No. Me no know. Me a leader. Me no another foolishness here. And nothing skin. So, just him look alone. Look how I look. When you look on him to the screen, he might look to the right. Which a film left, right? He might look to the right. When you look on him so, he might look to the right. And you just look on him eye and look how I rub him hand. You know, say people they right there so. Yeah? He might do the rest. And them I tell him what to do. Just look on this.
Morning, Mr. Dada Williams. Morning, Mr. Anjolis. I am so sorry for my indecent
You show him look?
And my misbehavior, and I never drive a taxi.
Look him again.
And I'm sorry about what I done.
See my look there again?
I'm so sorry, Mr. Anjolis. And I'm so sorry, Mr. Dada Williams. And I will never do it again.
And then tell him what to do. Now you tell me what kind of country this. You tell me now what kind of country this we are on, brother.
You know what? It's disturbing for watch. I tell you the truth. Disturbing. Because first of all, there is a guaranteed freedom of speech under the Constitution. So you can say, especially against public officials, you can voice your opinion against them. You can even use indecent language against them. So I don't know, this thing, and it's a pattern. Now we start seeing, whenever you come out and you say something against the government or the prime minister, particularly the prime minister, within a day or two, you see the alleged perpetrator on screen, on camera, issue an apology. And then when you look, Panama, you can't, it look like somebody where like you said, under duress.
Yes.
And the question you have to ask yourself is this. Or the question I ask myself is this: what would make him come and issue an apology after him so outspoken about the fact that the prime minister and his member of parliament they're nothing for the community? What would make him just get up and just come and say, "Boy, I'm so," and a rubber man and I look like he said and I say, "Boy, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir." Of course, him under duress. If you get him on your program and ask him, I mean, if you could have get him out of the community. Because apparently he can't go back there's a good if him come out and say it again. But if you should have get him and talk to him honestly, or get somebody who close to him, then would I tell you, say, yes, somebody pay him a visit. Somebody
them have him right there, because them live. So when him look,
who make the video? Who make that video?
All right, so them have one to shoot it about when him look upon the person, them there. You can't see and I move and them I repeat, I am so sorry. A matter of fact, them tell him what he say. Can you repeat it 2 times when you play it? Remember, uno repeat this. Him repeat it 2 times. I'm so sorry, Mr. Donovan Williams. And then him start it over again. Like him look upon them like them and say, and him do it again. I'm so sorry, Mr. And I'm sorry for the bad word. And I will never do it again. Look upon it again. Just look upon it. Now I'll show them again. Just look upon it one more time.
Yeah.
And man, just look upon it one more time. Look here.
Morning, Mr. Dada Williams. Morning, Mr. Anjolis. I am so sorry for my indecent language.
See, I'm so sorry for my indecent language. Can I look upon them first? So he might make mistake to look.
Misbehavior, and I never drive a taxi before. And I'm sorry about what I done.
He might look again upon them.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Anjolis. I'm so sorry, Mr. Donovan Williams.
And then repeat, I am so sorry, Mr. Anjolis. I am so sorry, Mr. Donovan Williams. 2 times.
Do me a favor.
3 times, I'm a fuck. And I do rest. Watch
go back. You can't go back to the first one. The first one.
Let me go back to the first one.
My brother, I don't know what liberate I do for my community right now. Because right now,
that sounds like a normal tone. That sounds like a normal tone. Him attack right now.
And the whole thing, I say a policeman come tell me, say, a 5 grand ticket alone him a give me for the day.
No.
So watch out. Me live in our community and me a shower man. This fucking man, him not do nothing for my community.
That's
me
normal.
But that's true, him attack.
Yeah.
I kill them down there, make the youth them kill off themselves and flip up. So I chew him attack and I lie.
But
You say one line that me I tell you. Say I true him attack.
Him say something was kind of interesting. Him say the first one him say him drive a taxi and him get a $15,000 ticket, $5,000 ticket, I believe. The second one him say never drive a taxi before.
Yes. And then even if him drive it or not, I will more advice out him opinion say this man yeah, he might fuck up a community. It's true. Remember me talk to people down there. Remember me know enough people from both sides of the fence down there, you know. Remember me just come from out of the road. So me I tell you, me can't tell us a soldier that have all woman down there a screw in a building, abandoned building, abandoned shop building down there. Soldier, when them send them down there. Me can't tell you these things. Me can't tell the amount of things me can't tell. I just you know me I think still. See? Me know them when them do them flip side and them same one send people go firing and people end up dead. See? We know how the whole of the thing work. We know what them are do. We know everything what them are do down there. But you can't talk because we're in these places. These are the things where we have to start patch up and say, yo, we don't stop it. And you have some guys who work with politicians, see me and see politicians, I do nothing to them. And them still are going like them an idiot. Remember play something for them still. I'm play something for politicians. Because when me are chatting in a business about some boy, you know. But before me do that, let me just play this first, yeah?
Okay.
This come from
our every move. Iran, Russia,
Jamaica,
China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda.
Jamaica.
They may be watching this right now. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
That's my message to them. Don't chat. Yeah, man. You understand? Me no business who them want to vote for nothing at all. We see why we don't like it. But no, we don't stop do these foolishness. Them to stop make politicians use them. You see me I say? Every step we know, you know. And when we look at the big boys, them do this. How much I want you? Me I talk to uno now. How much I want to una brother and sister and una family in a cemetery? But could a day do something productive? How much of the big boys them in a cemetery? How much of them picnic? None, zero. Unless them just sick and gone. But una still a going like una jackass and eat that. Nobody can voice them opinion or can voice say nothing. Jack Cohen and his run from brother. That's why more the opposition to start hold the government accountable. Well, we are the opposition too, you know. Yes. But for hold them accountable. Everything what them do. You understand? Me never see. Look here. You have two parties. I tell you the truth. I tell you half of my heart. We see police raid out of east. And I can tell you, you know, oh, they're not the prettiest place around. Another joke. But me never see a politician yet come in front of police and say, oh, no, do this and do this. No. The youth, them depend them own. Either you take the ill, like a ill, or you do something. But no politician not in front of them to stop it. Me see it in West Kingston. I may sit in some other place where politicians go, when police go in there, you have politicians stop them. And them feel says a good thing, but you still don't get always a doctor, teacher, and all kind of little things where you look, don't get no change. People are dead like rice cream, it don't make no sense. Politician no mean you no good. You understand? If politician mean you good, down there that build up like up an Arbrook and Cherry Gardens and Beverly Hills. By the way, you're supposed to have lawyers, doctors, you know, professors and all kind of engineer, all these kind of people are supposed to produce. Not gunman. You cannot produce be a gunmans and rapers and all kind of things. And some takers. And say politician mean you no good. Stop pick up for them. And see they under the rest, them do the youth they like this. It's bad. It's not bad what you can.
Yeah,
it's
man.
bad.
It's bad, man. And I want to tell you something. Somebody just write me from from Canada and say, Wayne Lonesome, in my opinion, should be the Prime Minister. Because I'm better than the one with him.
No, them no, so we're not going to know politics.
Them say them
We
listen
have
to
to set up
you.
with the people.
Them say them listen to you, and them
Yes.
really, really like your message. And
Yes.
and yeah, see that somebody just sent me a message from Canada.
Yeah, man, I get them enough like wow. But them no say me now go in no politics. Like it remind me of when all right. In a 2015 in a St. Catherine. This is where police Amos are run for, you know. So it make them write up an old man when he Patterson in a paper, blind, 80-year-old man. I mean, I said, no, man, 80-year-old, our father, this. So hear this now. Me, I go give the first money, donate the first money because, you know, like, oh, you know, this around. So me donate the first money. Then them running back. When you look, them have government people are running, everybody are running. Them not do nothing, you know. So when me turn and say me I build the place, I send my brother down there. Me send three of them down there. I buy all the material, send go build the man a place. Film stay, take him out a little cube. A blind man in a cube for 6 years. Nothing them a look on. And when me do me take him out of the cube, remember, you know. And me just I do it for the man, you know. I'm a buy him bed and them thing and me send down there to, you know. Me pay my brother and pay who him go with to, you know. Go work, you know. Because my brother do the same. Remember, you know, me do the work, you know. But me not even drive go down there. I never see the man yet. Kind of say me not look no accolades and me not look no hype and nothing. Me not go down there.
Right.
See? Yeah? You from Observer I come check me and what have you and say boom bam, me send it, them cover it, boom bam bam. When the man dead, that's how when me get the blood clot in my leg. Yeah. When the man dead, me just come out of medical associate. Because me did admit down there. And me send some money for bury him. Because people they come and say, well, I can do this, but them don't do it. Anyway, the man down there, he must tell them, say them for vote for him because if him never put on the paper money seat. Remember this man a police and senior cap for how long. You could have put a money out of your pocket and do this. For a man who could have be your father, you must. Him not do it. But you want to piggyback off of my money when I spend. Remember, I pick it up, you know. That's right. Out of my pocket. And somebody will me ask. I always do these things, but remember, me do so much thing that me not come here, so if come, so me do this and do that. I know my style. But when them run my file, them just realize, say, me's a man like do these things. If I'm here alone, me change Jamaica. If I'm here, me couldn't be like the man who won Christ and them things. Jamaica different. Them politicians are going to prison. And them big boy are going to prison. With that change Jamaica. See? Wow. All right. When we look now, them are saying a bucket come to me now, a bucket. Mostly from the church. When they near the man. Them want to give me for appreciate it. And me tell the young man, say, no, make him keep it. Because you should have give the man that me not know where you have in it. Me not drink. Me not drink liquor. You know, and me not know where you put the ham in and them things me can buy. Where you put in the bucket when me want. Me not want it. You see me I say? Me not want it. So hear this now. Hear this. Make them keep them things. Because me not take nothing from the church and then them come say, yes, me honor it. But you honor me and me to spend some money. If you have a church, why you never do it for the old man? 6 years and him blind. Now old folk cover. And you want to look good enough for me, me know any foolishness. I never go down there yet. Me the people them all say, boy, if you come down here, you run them vote for you. Me not want to vote, me not run in another election. Me going to stand up for the poor and needy and burn out the rich and greedy. They can't rich and all right, you know. But me rich and greedy, you know, me have a problem. You understand? Yeah, man. You understand? We stand up for the poor and needy. And they are oppressed. When you oppress some people like this now, the youth advise some opinion. And then the man that do rest. When you see them come to this, it's bad. It should not be. You understand? Let me take a call. Let me see how man I call me. Hold on there. Blessed. Turn on your TV.
Hello?
Yes, man. Turn on your TV.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bless.
Good afternoon.
Yes, man.
Hello?
Right, yeah, man. Right, yeah, loud and clear. Yeah, man.
Yeah, good afternoon, man. I just want to thank you for the program last night, man. Very informative.
Yes, I.
And of course, General Rattigan, man. want to big him up big time. Because, you know, I like the type of questions he had put forward to the MP, Paul Well.
Yes.
You know, there are some observations I had. I was really disappointed in a way how Paul will deliver himself when certain questions were asked of him, especially Zara Burton.
Yeah, what kind of question though? What kind of question though?
About the, you know, I can hardly hear, you know.
What kind of question though? Where she asks?
Yeah, man, this is what I want to tell you, just that I can hardly hear you.
All right, so what kind of question you say about her when she asks it? What kind?
Yeah,
what?
about the house, about the house leader.
No, but that's what. All right, let me tell you the truth, party. Let me tell you the truth, half of my heart. But through me like conduct my thing. All right. Remember, we have one government at a time. Me more want ask the man because remember you and others say no, we don't have no opposition. I hold them accountable. Them have 49. Why am I ask him about a house leader when the government no want to come on the program and put him there, brother? Moon ask him that. Moon ask him that because me bust the story itself. Remember me bust it and the bleed that follow it, you know. So and the Prime Minister himself right now did write to Clark about that and yesterday put her in the position. Him want catch we ask him why she herself. So why am I put him in instead of me ask about the car seat. I'm tell them, say, listen, don't vote with the government if things will crush the people in Jamaica. Don't stand up with them. I'm serious too. You can't vote for them when hungry the big boy alone it, please. Because people are hungry and hurt and have no job and Chinese take over job. So at that me want, you understand what I say? At that me want the me not in the full question, brother. Me never recognize that question. See? Because me did want to ask him more about but to me have a panel at the time. Me don't want I don't even the government. So the government put him there. So when I say, oh, she forget, remember, you know, you have lawyers that deal with that case and she try to put it out. When I say, well, she forget up and boom bam bam, the government want make one of them come and question them about it. That shouldn't even be a question, brother.
Fair enough, but my position is that it was, you know, what was his position about it? No,
but you can't, you know, but I know me just answer you, you know, brother. These are things where you have some journalists pushing ahead, me know the foolishness, but straight to the point. It get to, that's why politicians trick us. Because me not lose focus by what me I do. My focus is, okay, this how I go on. Look at the car seat, look at SSL. Why me not ask him that? Look for go on right now. You have 9,000 account. Right now the people them have got the bridge bill back. We lose over 200 billion. Them have 90 billion that where the police use it or lose it. And yes, the police station don't have a car. When me just stop, brother. What me ask him that for? And me bust the case. You understand? That mean these are the things don't get distracted.
Don't get me wrong, you know.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know.
Yes.
I was listening to the show.
Yes, man.
Remember I said you.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, remember you invite the journalist, you know, Zara Burton, you know.
Yeah, me invite. Okay.
And so, right. So she posed, so she her own independent thing.
I don't think that she, yes.
Posed a question to him.
Yes, but may I tell you, sometimes I forget them some, hear this now. Let me tell you something. You see government ministers, if they might come by your show, they might ask which question you're going to ask. My show now, Mr. Paul, when I ask me that's not film thing. Remember, you know, you have a government. Remember, you want to when you ask the opposition, oh, what you feel about Sheena that can't help we know when so much thing are going on, brother. But you see police can't even do them work.
All right, brother Lonesome. I get that point.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Let me take a next call. Let me take a next call quick. Hold on. Yeah, man. Yeah, bless it. Turn on your TV. Turn on your TV, sir. Yes, bless. Yes.
Yeah, Lonesome.
Yeah, man.
You know family. The first me ever talk to the I know Reggie.
Yeah, man.
King, when I time I had an interview from from a little bit now for the White Plains Road. I'm trying to call the item a week, question.
Yeah, man, yeah, man. Me sit up on the White Plains Road there still, cause, you know, remember me used to, yeah, man, pass on the White Plains Road there too, and me used to the Hamas studio there, in Dia Avenue there, and then sitting there, so. Remember me there everywhere, you know, me had the win, you know. Yeah, man, nothing got him there, man. Yeah, man.
Don't stop, brother. Don't stop fight for the people, brother.
And that me the plan. I'm in a lose focus. Because, let me tell you again, brother, one government at a time, I see when I see arrogance, I see the people them suffer 2 million of them, I have to buy squeeze toothpaste. That bother me more than anything else. Me no want to get personal. I want to deal with policies, and I want to deal with some other things that uplift the people them. More than step down in them and ask something that me coming like me no want to do this, me not do distraction, you know. I mean no distraction. And if you ask me, me will answer. You might not hear me answer, but me I can answer your fear and straight up. Then I go around the corner, brother. You understand? So if a man asks me something, me I can answer him fear. And up there so. How much a quarter bet $150 a man just push up? Eh? Oh, we get back this. I'm bread have nothing in it, but it's a look, if you just take the little gas out of your stomach, for you not get no ulcer, you have to deal with the bread. You understand me? I say, and little sugar and water. You don't have nothing nutritious. Underline me? You understand that again? Yeah, man.
Yeah, Lonesome. I read that thing, brother. I read that thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Bless up.
All right, bless. Yeah, man, when the car come in, so you have to answer them. I mean, some man may answer straight like that. So when I want the people them, you know, because sometimes when you have viewers that listen with, you have to tell them all the while think out of the box still. Because they may ask a question, but me no want to ask a question. Don't you know you may say nothing. Me might have said, but this is not the appropriate person to ask this question. But it will take up the time, you know. To argue when a man don't even want to say, because remember you have legal certain things in it and you know the house and them things there. You know, want to come and say, okay, that. No, but the Prime Minister did get a letter when me sure. Remember me bust the case in. With false signature and everything we sign after the man stepmother dead. 2 years and in place cell. But Paul would never know about that. And me the man will know about it and me bust the case, you know. See? And if a man did ask me, could I just fling out the whole of the thing and show them boom bam bam. Him just night I might hear something. So we might answer and say, okay, yes, man, I shift it. No, we have other things to deal with right now. We have policies and issues where we want to deal with to straighten out the place. Hold on there. Yeah, Mark. Hold on, let me just turn up that. Yeah. Hold on. Yes, sir. Me there, brother.
Me just call for just heal up Mr. Rattigan because you know what now. My wife asked me a question from last night. So if you ask him, say, if he's willing to be the next commissioner of police for Jamaica. Because him are the only person me see right now who fit that position then. You are really going on.
Ask him when I hear you.
Because you see, as we speak, you know, the whole airport roundabout block with what you call it, the people and we are seize people, bus and something, you know, transport authority.
That me a talk about.
One big traffic jam out there. And the other question is, where these whole heap of new record when we see them have a drive up and down, but where all of a sudden them come from?
New records, and them by them.
One whole pile of new record they are bought over the place, brother.
Brother, send some, give me some video on that right away now. Them know so me work, me not put them in, me bun straight.
Well, me I go take some video it and make you see.
Right away, cause you know, so me not straight, me bun them straight. You understand? These are the things when me a police are come out this morning and to the paper and say, oh, remember this the seatbelt still in the car seat still in effect for private vehicle. So when you gonna tell me I have a private vehicle, me don't get no youth. So here what me I do know, my neighbor might have a youth, I have 3 youth down there, they might have sit, but me can't carry them. Because me I get $15, 3 of them $15,000 ticket and me I carry them even at hospital. And if me see she and them uptown away and me I come home, you what me have to put the youth them on bus or something, and then you can come to my car, but me can't carry them coming on the child seat. So right away, the government fight against the kids them. Because we in a third world country. Fix the things that are broken first before you do these things. You understand? You can't say you do something and nothing no fix. You can't, you have to sting light. You don't have no work. You buy a squeeze of toothpaste. You don't have, come on now. But you still you attack the people, them and your big friend, them are rob. Me no know that, brother.
Too much pressure upon the people, man. You can't take no more of this, brother.
More and more
Right?
people call in and talk them back. Yes, man. Yes.
See Metropolitan Town Parks and Market go around and set up sign all about road traffic sign. You never know so them have that they work.
Metropolitan, I put them name pan what? Them are not Metropolitan Police.
Pan road sign.
Yeah. You see them have time for this? All right, now let me tell you something now, brother. Right now, we are running with some councillors and some mayors. Them illegal. Because I mean, if you withdraw election from 2000, but you keep the big election, you should have just keep everything in a one. Because from 2016 you draw the election. Local government. And now 7 years, that means the man them do 2 term from one term, brother. 2 term.
Exactly. Yeah.
This a foolishness. This a crap. And now them are going like them supposed to have no mandate. Them illegal, brother. And then them all them are do is put off the thing. It don't make no sense.
At time we say it reaches the time where we stop beat up ourselves and have pressure over them watch a man. At time we get up and do something, man. We sit down too long with too much of them shit, yeah.
All right.
It can't work.
Yes, sir.
Right? Talking no work. It not work for them. They're not afraid that we are talking.
That's why you see we in a diaspora and be action we are do. Because when them want to do, see them put the youth and the rest there. Them send who them a send. And who them a send and go and let them an idiot. You man and go and have the little youth there, you going to go about him for about Mr. This and Mr. That. And sorry, Mr. This and Mr. That. As him go down there, the amount of people that down there. Come here talk to people from both sides, you know. And me know the whole arms house we are going, because I know a lot of people from there. For me, so me know everything we are going and the card where them a pull. For just hold on and some people for run where you want to hold on upon some power. You start paint the sidewalk green. This sidewalk not paint green. Which sidewalk is paint green? And crap go down there and say nothing wrong with it. Stop them foolishness, man. Them politics they done long time, youth. Want to be patriotic. When them use much I want to dead off. Remember some traumatized I told my brother dead, you know. So hear this now. Me not ramp with none of you. Me not ramp with none of you. Anything is 100-fold. Yeah. Yes.
I run off people off a road want to kill them. Eh?
With SU. Oh, by the way, let me ask you something now. Don't forget to hear this Rattigan. This is frightened to your ears now. Tell me something now. The tourists them down there so now. Tourists, some of them are raper, you know. Some of them are pedophile, you know. But watch how them coming now. Two man have a car, them just flying as a tourist. But none of them are all pedophile and all kind of things. See? Some of them look man done pan them, so them come for the little young boy them now, because they're like a slavery ever now. Evan. In a Jamaica. Yeah, because money devalue. Tell me something. A police are ex-car tourists now go airport?
Anytime you see the ship dock, and you see them transfer the people them off of the ship to the airport, when the bus them can't get to go through the traffic, them get police escort and run the people them off of the road from left to right, and a fan you all sort of something. That can't right, brother.
In your country. Eh? That not happen nowhere in a democratic country, brother. So me have part of the video there, you know. But I want a longer script. Because I have the video, you know. Me get it, you know. So I want a longer piece of the video there. Because you know you have tourists that go through. Why them not earlier? Them late. What them do? Run you off of the road where they can drive. Them man you drive truck. And him know have chuck, you know, where he mash you up, you know. I'm a tough fucker, him one of them will make the plane them a fly. Without them man, the plane not fly. But you run him off of the road as police if you go carrying tourists at airport. And that's what I pay police for. If you late, if you just go buy your next ticket, it's better if you go and go buy your ticket, brother and sister.
if you see me go Baton Road now,
Yeah.
right with my truck now, you want to give me ticket and lock me up and tell me, say, me not supposed to drive so. And I people them jet fuel me have a carry to
jet fuel. All you do, let me tell you what you do now, because we like the boy cutting, you know, and them not understand the powers that we, you know. So all you need to do, you are carry the jet fuel, you know. You and your friend them don't carry it. So make the plane them stay there and go and can't move. And can remember, you know, the tourists them depend on you, you know, more than any. I'm a matter of fact, the whole airport depend on you and your friend them. Eh? Who if you do it, brother? I'm video and send, come give me. Our powers will show them. Eh? Yeah, them money I make the plane even the other day. When them call, you know, at Kingston, them have no jet fuel, don't it? Them never have no jet fuel. Eh? You can't hear me, brother? Okay.
We have to left for Montego Bay go to Kingston, carry jet fuel go up there because they run out.
And them are threatening you with ticket. Me just say, yo, give me the ticket.
Remember the woman can come give me $5,000 ticket in a Freeport for seatbelt, you know.
Yeah, they know. You know, say for me not carry no jet fuel for the day. We just sit down. And just say, go tell the Prime Minister come drive this and go give them jet fuel.
You see, that is what wrong with Jamaica people. We not unite.
Brother.
We are set a damn God.
Hey, but you know, say for me and your pa, brother. You know, say me and you don't get so, you know. You give me a ticket right away, them I can feel it. No jet fuel not delivering. And I tell every man, say, yo, tell them that me them a lose millions in the day for the 5,000. I show them some serious. Me say it's 100-fold. I'm not joke. No jet fuel. Yeah?
When we ask the police how well that right on the town side, you hear what they tell them no. We say, you don't know. We say, you know one name object. No, you know what they mean in that. We say, fuel will go, gas will go in a plane. And we say, the longer you keep me so, the more danger you go put your life in.
And if it blow up, you know it go already. And you make the airport run. Because if the plane them can't, when them land, them can't lift up what happen. Yes, still them a give you a stop you get them a idiot police, you know.
Let me tell you something, man. Them people that them need to stop harassing the few sensible people who left at Jamaica. You hear, man?
All right.
If you left here, so now Jamaica locked tight. Nobody not there to do the work. Up here, don't stay. I have no apology I make.
All right. Hey, Rattigan. I wanna win this attack. I wanna one of the man wilderness this man.
Well,
every day I'll go to every place, man. Eh?
A 45-year experience me having under my belt right there now. So them can't go to hell.
Yeah, man. The man then. Yeah, Rattigan, talk to me.
No, the first, let me just go back to the first caller.
Yeah, man, I hear you. All right, yeah, man, cool.
Yeah, the first caller, yeah, big up yourself, caller. I appreciate the remarks. But concerning the questions that he wanted Mr. Powell to answer, sometimes, you know, and I understand what he's saying, and the question is a legitimate question, but not on the platform that we had last night, because it was about good governance, to have the minister focus on things that he did, what he plans to do, and what the government is doing. And so to ask him about the personal affairs of one person, the Speaker of the House, that would be out of focus. And probably an out of bounds to us, because we just wanted to focus on that. No, if they come on my program, then we can ask all kind of things. But the program last night, and even on Lonesome's program, there are times when he allow them kind of questions that they ask, but not last night. Last night it was about good governance. I will bring the former minister on to find out from him, you know, his views on what's going on. Also to talk to him about things that he did and his plans going forward when his party takes over power. So that's the first thing, and I hope the listener understand and appreciate that. The second one was whether or not I'd be open to being the police commissioner. Well, you know, I don't know if the caller is aware of this. I applied 3 times for that position. And I didn't apply for it because I was looking for power, looking for a position or anything like that. It's because people like the caller himself encouraged me and said that, look, we think you have something to offer and you should apply. In fact, the government encouraged me because they had a plan back then, I think it was 2010, where they were mapping the diaspora for people with certain skill sets to come back home in light of Vision 2030. And so the High Commissioner out of South Africa, because I was based in South Africa at the time, the members of that office, they said, look, we're mapping the diaspora and we think you have something to offer and we think you should apply. And that's how I applied the first time. The second time, the same thing. The third time I was giving a little talk to Woolman's Boys School, the sixth formers. And then at the end of the talk, a group of them approached me and said, hey, weren't you the gentleman who applied for? I said, yeah. And they said, we'd love for you to, no, they said, would you apply a third time? I said, no, I have no interest in it. And they said, no, we think you should because, in terms of the development of the country and the skill sets that you have, we think it would be a perfect match and that you should apply. And I tell them no, and they insisted, and they applied the third time. So I applied under both governments, PNP and JLP. Now, to answer your question whether or not I should, I've made it clear that I have no interest. I have no interest in that position because my time come and gone, and they have qualified people in the JCF who can do it. But look, if I still reserve the right, even though I say I have no interest, I still reserve the right to do it because here's why. If the people feel that I can be of use to Jamaica as far as the crime situation is concerned, and they start calling, I may have to change my mind about that. But at this point, I'm perfectly comfortable where I am. And when we get to that point, I guess we'll just make a decision at that time. But for right now,
thank you so much, Mr. Rattigan. I'm listening very patiently in the background, all the way from the UK. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Yes, yes. We don't have to make him finish talk, and we're going to talk to you right now. A call from the UK. Yeah, finish right again.
Oh, right. So when we get to that point, we'll have to make a decision at that point in time. But at any rate, I would love to serve in some capacity to help my homeland, my country, the navel string cut and tie at Jamaica. And I love for help because I have so much up here and I have so much out there in terms of contacts and resources that I would love to come in and help in the national security space. So, and I've made myself available to this government, and they have so far I haven't heard anything. I don't think I'm going to hear anything because it's been they've been there 6-7 years now. In fact, in 2016 they approached me. They approached me, and I said, okay, fine, give me a few more months, let me retire, and then I'll do that. And since then I haven't heard from them. And I know people who have approached them because I've seen the emails and I've seen the text messages back and forth, and they've said, look, Rattigan is available. If you guys want him, and for whatever reason, they haven't reached out to me. So I don't think that's going to happen. So to answer the question in a nutshell, at this point, no, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Hey, welcome, Carla. UK checking in.
Yes, good evening. I'm known as HD on the platform. God bless you, Mr. Lonesome, and Mama Angie, and Mr. Rattigan. It's wonderful. It's so refreshing to have you on this platform. I just want to speak on behalf of the UK because people don't really get to hear from the UK. People don't realise how upset we are as British-born with Jamaican parents with what is going on in Jamaica. We hurt too, and I need to put that out there. It needs to be said. Now, you see, for these young people, you see that man that had to apologize for speaking his truth? He was not disrespectful. He was talking about his own lived experience. So when have we come to this position that somebody can't put up a poster and say, I'm upset about this? That reminds me of China, where people can't do certain things. You get banned. What is happening?
Why should that man have to go? I'm sorry, I need to calm myself down because I'm really upset. Why should that man have to go and stand up there like some prisoner apologizing? It's like he was reading from a script. Why are we dehumanizing people? Why are you taking away that man's right to speak? That is not right, and I don't accept it, and I'm very upset to see this again in Jamaica. I've got a little envelope here with my gas bill, and I've written down some notes. Lord have mercy, take me through this case tonight, because I'm very angry, and I'm going to speak on behalf of the British people. That man should be able to speak what he said. He should not have to stand up there like a captive, like he murdered somebody. And what I want to know is, how did they pick up this man so quickly within a period of time? Why can't they pick up the murderers and the rapists, the people that kill off people, kill kidney and man, chop off them head, chop off foot? How comes they can't pick up those people? How did this happen so quickly? This man, Mr. Coldness, right, is a narcissist and is very ill. And I'm not going to take back no talk. I've never called no live show and opened my mouth. I don't even call live show in England. But I'm calling tonight on behalf of those people that cannot speak. They're not allowed to speak. Their mouth has been gagged. It's enough already now. It's not right. I have family in Jamaica. Why would I accept this? I'm very upset about it. I'm very upset. And I'm going to speak, and I hope that brother that had to go and apologize, and many others, I hope they're hearing me tonight. We're going to speak for you, bro. We're going to speak for you, sis. That's the reason why the government does not want the diaspora involved, because we're going to rock up the place, and we're rocking it up right now with no apology. They are human beings. What the hell is happening in Jamaica? I'm so furious right now. And another thing I want to mention, this stupid idiot business about the Road Traffic Act and all that, that's a foolishness. In this country, in many other countries around the world, no child over 5 or 6 sit down in a car seat, okay? They're called booster seats. You don't have no 12-year-old in no booster seat unless they're disabled and they have disability. So let's stop the foolishness. It's enough already. And I'm speaking for everybody that cannot speak. I'm speaking for all the people them, the girl children, the boys that are being buggered. I'm speaking for every single person. I'm speaking for the people them in the market where their things are getting chopped up by police. It's enough already. Let's stop it now. People need to get out there, open up their mouth, and march down the streets. And I'm not going to apologize for shouting. I've never called a live show, but I'm calling today, and I'm not taking back no talk what I'm talking. It's enough already. We are suffering right here in the UK, thinking about our families in Jamaica. I will not spend one single pound in Jamaica. I will not go for no holiday and hitch up myself in no motel. I will not do it. I refuse. Because that money is not going to my people. So I'm done. And I'm out. Thank you, Mr. Lonesome, for allowing me to speak.
All right, sister. Bless up.
Thank you so much.
Bless
and
up.
God bless you all.
Yes, man. You see me, I tell you about this short touching, you know, and it have tentacles wide, far and wide, you know, far and wide. And, you know, people, when I say people upset, them upset when them see things like this. These are the things that are the real, you know, real troubling for people. You understand? So I don't like lose focus. And you're right, Rattigan, when we have good governance, and that we are deal with, we don't want to lose the focus of a good governance because we want to hold the government accountable. So when we hear a question where we are said, sure, and we hear some other things right, but this another government right now, you can say, okay, you was part of this and that. So we have to hold them. Don't make no vote against the people, them, the masses of people, and then you please the big boys. It will stop. Because if you know, nobody never, let me tell you, this is where we start, you know. Nobody never start this before, you know. When me have faced them, nobody never faced them. When them kill me brother from 98, me can't play back tape. When them talk about kill me, I say kill. Where you say what? Because me not really fear people like that, you know. Them know say my head work different. You can't run with mastermind. And you can't tell me where in your mind. And you can't move off of me, because remember, every move where you make, me calculate that long time. You understand? Hey, hear up, brother.
Mad sick, head no good.
Tell them where you call from, man. Because we are students, so we know the diaspora. Talk where you call from. Me know say you, but me just want you tell them which country you're there. Because me know where you're there now. Alright, good. So I leave from England to Canada now. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Me just want that lady that we just don't talk. John, oh, brother, me hear the passion in her speech, brother. Me hear it. I mean, such a feel it. Yeah. But Mr. Rattigan, we just want to be your boss. But why you still consider it? No, your intelligence in them way. That's it. You know, so why me now go, you know, things to make go, no. We want you. We want you, brother.
I hear you, my boss. I hear you.
My bird, Jamaica, this is the land of our birth. Yeah, man. Just do your thing, boss. And keep focused. See?
All right.
Continue to do good work. Continue to do good work, my brother. Yeah, man. A man of the wilderness.
Yeah, man.
You see, me that tell you a long time, but you didn't know too. But the brother in a Central Kingston. You see me, I tell you.
Me know about him, man. All right. You's a man from there, so. And everything, you notice when me talk, you notice, because me know every move we're making, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a bad pan draft, you know, because we can't, you know, we bad, you know, so you know, so like, you see me, I say, I mean, every move where I make and everything, me know. You see me, I say, and it's so bad. The people, them born and go in a place and turn when I kill off themselves. Because one guy just want to put on him hand like this. Phone reject him.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I saw the place it stay, sir. I saw your place it stay.
No, never see as bad as thing is people used to live happy. You used to have dry. People could have moved out. But from this little evil come, brother. This jungle come, star. Me I tell you, the place mash up. Because them just come with a draconian style of leadership, want control and want take over. And I kill out and come on, man. That's not our work, brother. Again, and the people, you know what I'm to? People, blame to, you know, because them licky. You see me, I say, brother, them is so damn licky, them stupid, them not think for themselves, them not read, them not understanding. You can just go there and tell them anything. Work through them belly. And I eat that. And that I reach them now and I'm a ball. Where them a ball for? And where them want and where them get. And tell them, say, you know, him now not forgive them, him not forgive them already. That him a buy them food, him done and not more forgive.
Yeah.
And I learn. So, what reach them now?
Yeah, man.
No sorry for them. Anyway, what do you think? Take it easy.
All right, let me take a next card.
Bless up, Mr. Rattigan. Big up.
Yes, my brother. Thanks.
Man, you know. You're the man. You're the man. All right, boss. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Bless up, fam. Bless up. Can you hear me? Well on. I'm going to put you up. I'm going to hear you like that. Sound roll, well on. Yeah, talk now. Let me hear you now.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Nah, hear you now.
You hear me now?
Yeah, me hear you now. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Big up the show, man. Big up. Mr. Rattigan, big up yourself, you know.
Yes, my brother. Thanks.
Yourself, man. Enough respect. So me I watch a preview of the show last night, Celine, and trust me. We call about the question about Philip Powell. You know, say if me not understand something, you know, say me I go call you.
Yes.
And talk to you, you go dissect you and make me understand. And
Yes.
that me like.
Yes.
Because me the kind of misunderstand it too, you know. You see me I say? And me see you go down in the details and really make me understand. So now me understand say, yo, we have to hold the government when in power, we have to hold accountable for what input in place.
Of course. One government at a time. So if
and
we...
like, yo, me just like that, you just say it, you just point it out and show the caller, say, listen, don't lose focus.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah, man.
And this we are talking about. What Paul will do and what Paul will achieve and will bring forth from film term.
Yes.
You understand? So, me like that. You see me say, and, you know, another question is, you know, what me have to say to Mr. Rattigan, and, you know, God now come down, God, people are looking to say, yo, God now come down from water, everyone come down from earth, come save. God now go do that, and we have to do it.
True. True.
That's why I do, man. Yeah, man, we not follow the pastor. What if you do with thing? Pastor line in pocket and I tell us I gotta save you. But yes, still see you might line in pocket and you're hungry and you might chop the little that and do all kind of things. Hey, the man in the wilderness do some things where them never see before, you know. Me challenge it what them call it, score. Score, what them want call it. Me challenge the establishment. Because a long time them a rape, them molest the boy, them molest the girl, them rob the politician, them nobody know hold them accountable. The police, the criminal one, can you have good, clean, decent police. The criminal one, nobody know hold them accountable. And nobody can challenge them come kill you or them threaten. You know, I mean, I work with that, brother. Unless you born like a fish, you have your fin, you know, and them have hands. You understand? Yeah, man. You see me, I say, it will stop. It need to stop. So we have to set some example, man. We are say, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Me challenge that, man. I'm bust it up, man. Because for them alone, you know, let me tell you this. I'll be a dictatorship. Me could run through something and me ask a question. You can't hear me still, Carla? Carla? Yeah, hear me? All right, let me ask you something. Let me ask you a question. All right. The government that right now, I'm going to compare something now. Compare something to me now, Carla. Andrew own this. When performance, when him do, since him come in 7 years, when him do for uplift the country. Just tell me some of the things that when him bring in and when him do. In the cabinet. Tell me. Name one.
The amount of sub-zero, them coal light down and hard coal, may I tell you, man.
Yeah, so what you answer to me then? So the state of emergency, when it beneficial to you? What kind of benefit you get from it?
That no solve. You know, see murder rate last year, man.
All right. Okay. So
down to the one a soldier kill innocent people.
One a soldier can shoot themselves too. Okay. So that not help nothing. So the hospital it fix up. Dr. Tufton now. Dr. Tufton. The hospital them fix everybody all right now. The free healthcare work.
Remember saying last year my mother dead, you know. Last year, and because of the hospital, the lack of careness, the doctor them down there, them just give anything and just tell us say, yeah man, and them not care. You understand me? I say, me see a woman I say, yo, no water in the hospital. You know, the bathroom is a mess. Yo.
So you catch germs.
It's a disaster, man.
Okay, so you catch germs more than anything else. So, okay. So what I'm in town now for job creation. You see job create the one of the youth them run you them a work?
No.
And them a make money? The youth them a job creation. And what I'm in town, the bridge them a fix on in the inner city, them a fix up. Them a fix. The roads and thing. The infrastructure inside where we wanna live. You can hear me? See, man, them said no justice. You know hear me?
Yeah, man, me I hear.
So what I mean, them a do a good job. The bridge them a fix up on the road, them and your infrastructure where we wanna live. The whole of the road them fix up already and everything good. Job a create?
No, sir. Yo, no job creation around there. No upliftment no down there. No upliftment. So
tell me something now. So I can just call out a bag of them now. So Dr. Crab now. He might do a good job from film yes, Dr. Crab. Yes. He might do a good job from film national security portfolio. And Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Crab asleep, man. Mr. Crab asleep.
You need to put in a barrel. All right. So tell me something. So what happened to Agin time? Film job where him not do and everything. Or am I going with?
You know, him, me him talk about Eng. You know, say him are the first. Nobody will believe we face Eng in first.
Well, Agin time.
You understand?
But you know, when I Agin if you buy another again.
Yeah, man. I'm my first man for Eng, man. And then we can say, all right, then. You see me, I say? Them politicians and them not regard them, the youth, them not care for the youth, them future. You understand? Because remember say after 10 years, 40 years from now, you know.
Yes.
But they are saying, you know.
Yes.
So push help the youth, them going to the right
Yes, sir.
Who are going to run the team?
Yeah,
Who are going overrun it. Eh?
All right. So tell me now. So Google Gaga now. Him is a good commissioner. The police them come see them with car and things. So where am I doing? I do a good work and policing. Sir Googs. Sir Googs. Yeah.
I'm going to sue you soon.
Yeah? You can hear me, Carla? Carla, you hear me? Yeah? What? Yeah, man. Sir Googs, you do a good work?
Remember saying that how much gun salute him man fire man funeral man.
Around 39. 21 gun salute, you know.
Everywhere on all at 21 and him fire over him additional around him fire the man. It was a disaster, man. The man they need a daycare, man, a creech.
They need a creech.
You understand? The man need a creech, man.
So tell me something now. So Pernell Charles Jr. Where am I do?
Pernell Charles, them a thief, man. You see him father get the land them down the side there and I put it in them name and I say them all of them are thief, man. All of them are thief.
So the other one from down St. Elizabeth, where him do? The one with the land they down St. Elizabeth.
Green?
No, green. Where green I go? Where do green I do?
Green I do nothing. None of them not do nothing, you know. I just pay your money them I deal with right now.
Okay.
Pay your money them I deal with. You see from them come in with the new road. Okay, here man a come in and I say them are bringing beer and them are coming with beer charge. So them plan out all of them things.
I'm telling you, man. Good.
You see me I say? So are the people now for looking at themselves and say, oh, I saw now do it, I
Yeah, man, I have to hear for, you see, I have to hear for money, you know, because them I watch me too, you know, man. Yeah? Them I watch me too. You know, man, them want to know what Vaza do. You can't hear me, Carla? Carla, can you hear me?
Yep, man. Yo, I just can't believe, say, yo, a youth, we have voiced him opinion. Regardless, whatever, him free for talk. And the man him buff him and tell him to do a story video. Like a China with it.
All right. At this, them thing they want for question.
We lose the way, man.
Yeah.
Yo, people them need to rise up, man. Like, Mama say, man, over UK, man. Yo, feel it, yo.
All right. Not so nothing, but there, I'll make some more calling. Yeah, man. All right, brother. Cool. Yeah, man. You have call all over. Welcome, Sir Herb.
Hey, how you doing?
Sir Googs, now come. Sir
You see, we talked earlier this morning, believe it or not, Ratty, and we were for twice this morning.
Yes.
But we weren't online like we are now. We're just going over a few things.
Yes.
But I had no breakfast or anything, and then the wife came downstairs, so I had to go give her some lunch, and then I said, well, let me come on, because he had sent me the link.
Yes.
So, but I'm happy to be here, good Wayne, and good to see you have Will as usual.
Yes, man.
I tell you what, Herb, you know, Lonesome make me in a technical expert, because of course me for you some forget to adapt to the modern age, because you know me have a problem assign and thing. I know him have me now on the computer now. Me not have to use my phone anymore, and have you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, I heard somebody rap this morning and them a big him up and say, boy, I him for be the prime minister. You know?
No, sir, no, me not going to them seat there. After them sit down in them seat, they're not me.
Why?
Me? No, so I want to be the watch lion. I want to be the breeze. Yes, man. I want to be the breeze. So I have to watch over everything.
Maybe national security advisor, Wayne.
Well.
All the nook and cranny around the place and watch.
I'm sure if I want to take them job, they come. I don't want him come, Sir Googs.
Sir Googs, all right, man. Sir Googs, when I say Sir Googs, I said, the man can't do nothing, you know. The man all over the place, you know, brother. All over the man get all that paper and attack foolishness, you know, man. It at me, I said, no, man. Then the man really sick. The man have the uniform.
Me
I
hear
said
say something.
uniform I gonna make the policing better now and safer. I must say Super Friends uniform.
Yeah, me hear say something one time, you know, that me have to really I have to pinch myself and said no, take out my glass and said, no, me not read this right. When say that reason why they might have problems now with crime and the police is because the PNP defunded the police. I'm say, I wonder if where him get this from? But then
Who
if you
said that?
eh?
Google Gaga? Now move the Googs now. Google Gaga said that?
No, it was the minister said that.
Crab. The crab. How much the crab? All these things are foolishness. No, you turn government. All right. So me, I run for a job, right? And me say, me, I do it better. And if you looking at 2014, you see, how much? 1,009 person lost them life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just look on it right now. 2014. Tell me the figure. Just tell me the figure 2014. Right? You know the murder
One
rate.
part, now look for it. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So 1,000 and something, right? 2013, 2014, right? That's all. Right? You never have no Zozo. You never have no state of emergency. The money, it never devalue and reach 150. Look what the money did reach from me the herb. Tell me the money, the Jamaica to the US in 2014. Just tell me the exchange rate, right? So I know some people could afford little more food. I mean, no, enough little more thing could have run. No, them money they remember, you know, in them time there before the election. This prime minister kick up does say him when the money devalue, it sink the country. Him say it, me have it on video. You understand? Him gonna make us sleep with the window and door open.
Mm-hmm.
One man go follow and when you look a man push a man through the window and shoot the man from him bed. See, so you can't follow him. Yeah? You understand? So you find it, you tell me how much. Look how much said that time then, how much said 2022. 1,498. That's how them count. Yeah? You get 2014, right?
Yeah, man, look for it. Them give me percentage rate though. Hold on.
Them have a thing where you can say from 2009 to 2014 or
Yeah.
2007 to 2014. I run through that. From 2007, the murder rate from 2007, Jamaica murder rate, to 2022. And then it show you all of the rate, all murder rate. That's from 2014. Yeah, because 2007, you see it there, yeah? Yeah? I think 1,009. And them cost about that, they might get it better than that. You understand? See? Yeah, man, the new uniform what them come in with is a superhero uniform. So it'll make, you know, police more safe and more secure and one bag of foolishness. You understand? Murder rate.
Make my percentage.
Rate. Jamaica from 27 to 2022. All right, so let me see this. Go down on this. Statistics. See, Jamaica Constable Force want to change up some things. East Kingston, no, you know, look on that one day. Yeah, you have to go down on that. Okay, exactly, Jamaica. Okay, well, me have it some up there, so 1,000 little bit.
Yeah, I have the numbers upstairs.
1,000 little bit, right? 1,009, I think. 1,009. And then the opposition at the time kick up those. But the 1,009. You understand? Now you put in all these measures. You spend 176 billion. Yeah? Over the time, you push much billion, you buy much helicopter. You buy 5 of the Bushmaster from Australia. The amount of money you spend, but you still don't have the radar car and all. No! You can't carry it. You can't even beat that figure. You can't beat 2014 murder rate figure in Jamaica. You understand? It's bad. That's so bad. I think it's 1,009. Let's put Jamaica 2014 murder rate. Let's type that. Jamaica 2014. I think it depends on the Jamaica Constabulary
All right,
Force.
hold on.
Yeah?
I think.
Them got change it up, you know. Okay, 2022.
All right, see it now. 2014, it was 1,005.
It is worse.
105 Jamaican dollars.
Okay.
To
So
US.
remember now, 2014. Tell me now, them did have Zozo?
No Zozo.
No.
Them did have state of emergency?
Nah.
Them have nothing like this.
Mm-mm.
And just the police, them do them work. Them did have a Google Gaga, by the way. Who was the commissioner? You can look up and tell me who was the commissioner.
It was Carl Williams.
Ellington.
2014. No, I think it was 2010. Wait. It was either Carl Williams or what name the man Quilo. It was one of them. Carl Williams or Quilo.
So under for them thing, them have no Zozo. The bag of state of emergency. You know, look up this net fishing and look up a bag of people and do all kind of things.
2014, I think it was Carl Williams.
Carl Williams.
Yeah, I think it was Carl Williams.
Dr. Carl Williams. Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Carl was appointed in September 2014.
Right.
Yes.
So before him,
He'd have acting before him.
Owen Ellington, he succeeded.
Yeah, but there's a acting between Ellington and Carl Williams.
Okay, so Carl Williams can come listen. So 2014, you still get 1,005. What's the difference between 1,005 or 1,498? What them do since last year under Google Watch? He might get more money, you know. He might get $18 million man that little baby there, you know. That Mr. Googs, Sir Googs. Right? What's the difference when you calculate that? That a life lost. I am yes, we're work and we're this and that. Him should have get fired a long time. Him a 91% disapproval ratings. Him can't communicate, him know nothing about policing. So under him watch.
And you know what? The worst thing about it is that we shouldn't forget that he was the first and today the only national security advisor, right? Which means that in the upper, so in the 30,000 foot level, so he oversaw everything. He was the czar for everything. So, and that's where them talk about the national security policy, because he saw everything as far as national security. So him say police stuff, him say customs, him say immigration, him say border, him say everything. So if you look at it from that perspective, him was probably the fittest man for take that job there and run with it, right? And him go from the 30,000 foot level to come down now, right? Him see the whole terrain, you know, see everything. And now him come down now for just deal with one portfolio. Because when him up here saw a national security advisor, he might look at everything. All of them, right? So him come down now and then put him in a one. And remember, I made a feel up here, so you know, and then put him down here, so, and him a feel even worse. And the thing is, up here, so him a feel, but people focus more upon the individual agencies them. And then when they bring him down now to the individual agencies, we see him real lack of management, him lack of skill set, him lack of everything. We see it now because him can't hide now, you know. Can't hide now because they focused upon him. So, I mean, and how long him did now? He did about what, 4 years?
A little more, somewhere there, a little more than that. So, the things that I run from Film Watch. So, you'd have a police commissioner where you no use nothing like this. And you go 1,005. What's the difference? Look on the difference. 493 murders. Remember more than that, you know, because some of them never get free till it come over in January. So them never count it because them don't want him look bad. But body pile up under Film Watch. Because him feel say if you just go out there, hear this now. You have some police who are in the force, them have brothers and them have cronies who are criminal. Them are criminal themselves. Like the one who raped the girl in a Black River. And some rapers and criminal. And enough of them, you get to a police 25 years worth of experience. Then you put in some guy where them are criminal already. And as a queen child, I put in 1,000. What are them out of a criminal? So when you get to the experience, them you have to come up to par, but them are done criminal already and them have the badge and gun now. What you think of that? Them don't know nothing about policing, them know about criminality. If them are rape, them are continue rape. So that you give them the power now and have the government about them. What you think of chaos? We'd rather keep the man them where, you understand? Before you make them man, they are going a jove.
Let me add something else to that. To that. I think it was last year, maybe the year before, where the JDF identified certain members, I think, of the JDF and JCF. Most of them had less than 2 years, I believe, 2 or 3 years experience. And they packed them up and sent them off from Maniga, the training school. And then they graduated them and appointed them as assistant superintendent. Now, think about that. Them people have less than 5 years in the service, whether it's JCF or JDF. And you put them in charge as somebody like, for example, like Rowan James, then, for example, who have like 20, 30 years. And then, so how that are going now? How them are going to mentor and lead and teach? How them all do that? Them have no experience.
What them do, come and talk to some senior cap. So, no, when you put them little young ones, some of them are 18, just come to the force, by the way, and 19. So when you put them in the force and you turn them in an assistant soup, who they teach you, you know, and about you can give them order. They matter about young and I'm brilliant and all kind of things that don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. So you know have the experience, you have to teach who them put over you. You understand? This is what Google do. Google mash up this. See I call him. Let me take a call him. Yeah, call her.
Yeah, man, in the wilderness.
Bless up.
Big up Herb and big up the next commissioner of police for Jamaica, Mr. Rattigan.
Yeah, man.
You better pack your stuff well.
I'm in the US.
Yes.
And I listen to your program regularly. Not from now. Me I talk from way back before, you know?
Yes, man.
Me say that thing happen. I'm going to ask your panel a thing. When are we honoring people who are doing their job?
When are we what? Sorry about that.
Honor Desmond Mackenzie
Anna
in Manchester,
yes.
a community named Somerset. Give him road sign and name him after the street. And this man is still a member of parliament and still working for the government. So how comes the councillor take it up on him head, take taxpayer money and go build sign on a street after this man while he's still working for us?
Not only that, you know, but I may just answer that and then turn it over to Rattigan. So you're talking about Deadman Mackenzie, right?
Yes.
Deadman Mackenzie, okay. All right. So Deadman now, Deadman Mackenzie. From them just put a building in a film name downtown to, you know. And that wrong took our taxpayers' money. No, him never live in Manchester. And this man, me don't know, can me live on the street, them couldn't change me, I tell you. From earth to heaven, them could not change the name from my street and put Deadman Mackenzie on it. For me put on my ID, my driver's ID. For put on my, I had on my letter. I had on everything what me I do. Deadman Mackenzie circle. You can't do that. It can't change all my title. You have forced me to go spend money for honest money when in this honorable. This guy need to get investigated and all kind of things, but one bag of things. That is Deadman Mackenzie. And them had play politics and I run go take a road, you know. So you have your road now, Herb and Will. And remember, you know, your road, it name that and that. I remember your driver's license, you know, your road name. Your title, your house title, everything where you have. No, you have got to change everything now for please. Why? Who and why? Let me make Herb and Will finish answer. Them two out of order. Stop put on them name on things because I don't like them word if you put on them name on things. And I talk about him Anna because him doing what? You know how much money we are lose a year time? Over 200 billion them a thief. Come in Herb and Will.
Let me say this. It's difficult for me to fathom how a man who is in his second term and he's barely making inroads into Jamaica's infrastructure.
I'm gonna hang up and listen to the show.
Yes, man. Okay. Mm.
She's barely, one of the biggest projects into Jamaica should be refurbishment of the infrastructure.
Mm.
And it's not so, right?
Mm.
And then he's going to turn around. This is halfway through the second term. And he's going to be putting up road signs and unveiling it himself. And I believe the minister for that district is Michael Phillips. And he never showed up to the ceremony.
Mm.
So if you're having an unveiling ceremony for a current minister of government and your member of parliament don't show up, it's a telltale sign that is nonsense. If this man had saved countless lives by preventing people from being washed away when rainfall and floods going down some of these areas, and you hear the car wash away, you hear people wash away or something like that, you may think about honoring him, probably put his name on something other than a building or a road sign, right? It's not even his district. So we are putting name up there for. It doesn't make any sense. You go back to the highway that they just named for Siaga. And you had the opportunity to name it for Michael Manley or for PJ Patterson, right? And that way you show you're honoring people who started these inroads of building infrastructure. And instead, you go back to a man who caused more strife and upheaval in Jamaica when he introduced M16s and other high-powered weapons to one side so he could kill a bunch of youth members from the other side and started a war. This shouldn't be. You honor somebody because they have done honorable things, not start a war. So I don't know what Desmond McKenzie name doing up on a road sign. It makes absolutely no sense. I don't know what the man has accomplished. And if his name wasn't associated with Tivoli Gardens, I probably wouldn't have known who he was.
Let me just add, I agree with everything that both of you have said. And I'll just say this, that I learned a long time ago that you don't praise people for doing what they're paid to do. If somebody is, I remember, nobody put a gun to this man's head and tell him, say, boy, I'm off to go join politics or whatever. It's a free will thing, right? And and you'd like to think that all of these politicians do it because they feel that they can make a positive difference in people's lives. So the question for me is, what positive difference has he made in anyone's life, especially those people who are not in his constituency? What did he do to enhance their lives? Bigger question is, what has he done to enhance the lives of anyone in Jamaica? I haven't seen it. And so I'm not of the opinion that we should be praising this man or any person for that matter if you can't make a difference in people's lives. And in fact, I would prefer that they have like a community leader or somebody who is with the people on a daily basis, somebody who has made a meaningful change in their lives, a meaningful difference, somebody who they can talk. Because most of those people, them can't talk to this politician, them can't get an appointment to see him, and he's not there with them. So you know what I like to say? I'd like to see them name the street after a teacher who make a difference in
the kid's life. Good.
Yeah.
One of those teachers, we know them do, so many or a nurse.
Or a medical professional. Oh, yeah.
Doctor,
that's what I would like
politician.
To see.
No. Because you ask what this man do, you can't find out nothing. And by the way, down in a film constituency right now, when we read Michelle Cat back where over the other side from Tivoli, they must say, hey, Prime Minister might come in because I done with him because I be a gunshot and people are dead and them are saying no good. And then you're going to name him way down there. So why you not going to put the road down there? Where the people them are burn him out. Them say them can't take it no more. Over them and town section. Because them are burn him out. You understand? Why them not put the road down there? Put the sign. This out of order. Yes, Carla.
Yes, good day to the team, gentlemen. You
Yeah,
know, my concern is one of, I'm wondering if the Commissioner Anderson is really a Trojan horse in this thing. I'm looking at the $4.2 billion that has been allocated to bolster the JDF operational capabilities. I've seen that he was the advisor, but a lot of these ideas are coming from him. Clearly, the ministers are sold on this Anderson and his viewpoint in dealing with the crime issues. What I'm asking the board is to try to convince me how we can prioritize 70% of a certain amount of money allocated to the Jamaica Defense Force if we have an internal crime problem. All right? Let me just break it down. 4.2 billion has been budgeted. 2.3 of that, right, is going to purchase helicopters, fixed-wing aircrafts. 1.1 billion is to acquire equipment to facilitate procurement of radar, marine offshore patrol vessels, cameras, software. I like the software. I remember them got Israel over there. Hardware and other equipment, right? And they have to watch that other equipment because we don't know what them there. 450 million is to acquire military fleet vehicles such as armored patrol carriers and to increase the mobility of the Jamaica Defense Force. Right, the remaining 3.75 million will be used to develop the Jamaica Defense Force Western base, including the completion of phase 2 construction of the accommodation building barracks or whatever. I'm saying, if we have a priority of inland crime issues, right? Rape, missing persons, right? Robberies, and we know about murders. We have a gun import and drugs issue, but the majority, we have to stop the leak. But how do we deal with the crime internal? The questions I always ask is, the forensic lab, we still haven't purchased anything in relations to the freezing of DNA. The collection, storing of DNA evidence. We still haven't done anything there. Police force still don't have the vehicle. I just wanted to try to enlighten my darkness because I know the panel is very learned.
Hold on, my brother. Let me just introduce the caller in this way. This caller serving the capacity as detective inspector in the JCF. Okay? All right, continue.
Yeah, I know the panel is learned. I just want them to justify because I know we have intelligence and we have an investigator who have seen a lot of stuff, you know, and exposure a lot in different fields and different locations. How do we justify the priority of putting all of these hard boots on the ground things to deal with murders, robberies, and shooting? You know, because I just can't fathom the numbers here. Go ahead, please.
All right. Well, caller, thanks for the question. Let me say that I'm not surprised about the breakdown because if you look at who's leading, it's a military man leading, right? So he's more concerned, and as we've said, and I've heard on many programs, he doesn't know much about law enforcement. He knows about defense. If you're going to give him credit, he knows about defense. Law enforcement is about protection, service protection, and reassurance. Completely different things. So the mission is different. The mindset is different. The skill set is different. The training is different. The whole thing, the culture is different. So when you take a military man and put him in this seat and tell him, say, we must serve, protect, and reassure Jamaica, it's like putting a square peg in a round hole. You would be better off taking someone from within the JCF to lead the JCF. And by the way, how come we've seen 3 of these experiments now, this military experiment, where they take 3 military trained people and put them in charge of the JCF. How come we've never seen a JCF member lead the that JCF member lead the JDF?
You
How
will never
come?
see that.
Yeah, how come? So I'm not surprised by how the breakdown is. You know, I'm really not surprised. And that people should question that and said, if Plan Secure Jamaica, if the JCF has a pivotal role to play in Plan Secure Jamaica, then how come we are not staffing them up? How come we're not resourcing them up to play that role? So it's almost like you're setting the JCF up to fail. No, I'll say this and then I'll shut up. I was one of them who used to criticize the police comprehensively, and in a wholesale way. So the whole of them are thief and all of them, until I met a certain gentleman called Rowan James, the chairman of the Police Federation, and I started talking to him and his members, and then I come to realize that a lot of the things that we're blaming them for, we shouldn't, because they have not been provided equipment, resources, and all that stuff to go out and do the work. So, in fact, I might call me a note. But so what happens is that the police have been given a basket to carry water. We know that there are bad apples in the police, and in fact, there are bad apples in any agency. You check, you look, you examine, you'll find bad apples. And I dare say that the overwhelming majority of the JCF, overwhelming majority of the members, they're hardworking, decent, honest public servants. They would give their life for the country in terms of service protection and reassurance. And we're not doing, as a government, we're not doing right by them.
Yes. But before Herb though, let me just say something to you, Ratty. Google do I get rid of the hard working one. Them just fill it up with some, some little youth who need some lamp oil. When I know nothing, you might get rid of the experience. Allow me to tell sir.
Man, I mean, he is not getting rid of. The system is getting rid of. Because if you're a rational human, you're a rational human being,
yes,
you're working environment, you're not getting paid, you know your value. So automatically, if you would have spent a certain amount of time, effort to build up yourself, you know your value. You can't stay in an abusive relationship all the time.
Let me ask the caller. Let me ask the caller a question. Sir, is it true that there are members of the JCF who have decided to resign, right? Which is their right, and that the administration is telling them that no, you have to report for duty. And when they said no, we're putting our resignation papers, they said, okay, you know what, we're going to fire you. So therefore, they have no benefits to get. Is that true?
Right. So I call the Great Migration about 5 years now. A lot of police officers, a bulk of police officers started to leave the force, and they went in and they changed the legislation. Under our next legislation, they push it in, saying that the police officers have to submit the resignation 8 months before they can leave. Wow. Else they will have committed an offense. I think probably desertion or something like that. And so a lot of police just run off, and now they come in back with a different thing, because now they're trying to stifle you. They want this because they can't keep you. Because as a man do one year and see what is happening, not even want to waste 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they're trying to lock you in with these things, with threats, among other, erroneous things. If you don't know your right, they lock you in a certain way. So I've heard about that as well. But what is on the books is that now you have to listen to what I'm saying. A man with a gun, you're trying to force a man with a firearm to go out and protect people. If a man with a firearm decides they don't want to protect nobody, finish with this thing. You can't force that man to work. This is not a JDF type of situation. You can't lock him up in a barracks. Right? They're saying that you have to do that in advance, and you have to work at least for 8 months. And if you would have leave before that time, you'd have committed an offense under that legislation, which is a fine. I think the fine is about 500,000 or sometime in custody.
No, but that's a stupidness. Then you people are stand up against that.
What do you mean? Nobody still alive. Them can't stop you. So catch me. I'm gonna say catch me if you can.
Yeah, but them out of that, so what that me want to study them. And me I leave a thing. Another JDF this. And you gotta tell me about fine,
The police
fine
work.
what?
You can't force someone for the police work, brother. Because even if you put him out there and him start to report sick, so that is the thing now, the whole that you start go down, you know. Because if you start doing all of those things, you lose your pension. Or if you leave before the time, you'll have lost your pension. All right? So that's the rabbit hole if you take these actions.
So they're forcing you to stay.
I've lost probably. Yes, they're trying to force you to serve.
Yeah.
You know, and they talk about forcing a man to stay under the serve, the poor condition, lack of pay, demotivation, hard work. And that is what is, you know, it's concerning. And, you know, I would add to what Mr. Rattigan said is that I would put it that 2 or 3 of those helicopters could have purchased the body cam. That would have been priority in dealing with the corruption issue. Put on the body cams and the police officers. I want to see the body cam out there. You know, I've seen some stuff. I wish people in Jamaica could have seen it.
Yes.
I have been engaged in some things that I wish people could have gone on the internet and view what happened, and then what people come out and say happened.
Yes. So the body cam will be 100%. It keep everybody safe.
It keep everybody safe.
So why them not do it?
Keep everybody real and safe.
Sir Gov't say I'm gonna do it in 2019. Then him come back 2020 and him said them that test and surf or something, and then you hear it zoom.
That test don't make no sense because again we said that the police, the New York law enforcement, American law enforcement, England law enforcement who are wear these body cameras much years ago through all of the seasons. Them when they actually train for run down their perpetrators. We'll do that. So if you talk about ruggedness, stand up again weather, I mean how much more testing them need to do?
And that a Jamaica, you know, them are go through 4 seasons, right? In the state, Jamaica does have, and like you have snow, you have winter, summer, spring, you know have that. You just have the season where you just go through. Just that we have. Our hurricane season. Well, just for that we have some sun and what have you. The Korean fall.
They just don't have the will power to do these things, and you know that's a concern that we have to look into. Why we don't want to be transparent. You're doing all of these investigations. You hide behind. It's like we're working for the people that we're servicing Jamaican citizens. Anything that we do is for them. You know, this is not a state where it's like a state police that you're doing it to them. You're doing it for them. You're servicing Jamaicans. So any investigation, it's a public investigation. So you give updates, adequate updates, so nobody has to form an assumption on what is happening. But again, as I tell Wayne all the time, most of these things are a lack of management and poor leadership. Typical Jamaican constable, corporal or sergeant has no authority on his day-to-day movements. He's instructed where to go, what to do, his goal for the day. Right? So anytime he fails is a reflection of the management and leadership of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And it all encompasses one that leads to the chief constable, which is Mr. Anderson.
Okay. Sure goes. So
I would love to hear Mr. Herb thing. I'll give somebody else a chance to
all right,
talk.
no problem. All right, take care.
Thank you. Now, I should have asked him to stay a little bit here because General Anderson took over the reins from National Security Advisor in 2014. That's what we said, correct?
2014, yes. No, 2016 him come in. I think 2016.
2016, okay.
Yeah, after the years, 2016.
5 years later,
Mm-hmm.
February 2021, he said they told us they're going to retain him and they're going to give him 18 million. Well, that 18 million, let's say in the 2016.
So no, 2017, it was a commissioner, I think 2018, 2019, but him that get less, I think 13 point of that 14 million. So them put 4 point something million more on it for doing nothing. For doing nothing.
Well, all right.
Yes.
Let's say in fairness, because this came from Samuel, General Anderson's stewardship, cases of larceny dropped 70%, robbery 50%, break-ins 30%, rape over 40%, and aggravated assault cases drop over 50%. Right?
That's when.
That is Samuda putting this out over a 4-year period.
Nothing where them put out. We have to verify for them thing. For them thing never right yet, believe it or not. For them thing never right yet. I'm gonna tell them straight. Because of them give them play. No. Him not supposed to put out that, Samuda. Him not supposed to put out that. Go look at the Jamaica Constable Force and we'll put it together and whatever, because them supposed to have the right statistic. We don't follow what Samuda put out.
I guess that's 20.
Him is not the National Security Minister or nothing like that neither. So we don't want you nothing from him. Straight up.
He was the Minister of State in the ministry.
Yeah, but when him do that, the man that put it out, not him. We don't want nothing from him. We like we for the Constable Force. I know them high things in it when you talk to police, because all right, like last year, them give a 1,400 and what I call it coming like wow. That's a minute. 1,498, right? But when we talk to like my police brethren, them will understand the thing. Them say, okay, I'm telling you before. You have some people where something will happen here, so and they, them have to come and pass them first. Who are come do the autopsy. So them pack them up in some fridge and pack them up in some mag and them thing. Then them tell you, because them pick up bodies and everything. Them know if them did get murder or them die a natural death or and some other things. So them not add it up. Because if you add it up, now you're gonna have too much debt pan them and and it'll make them look bad. So they make it run off in a January or in a February or before you hear about them, and then just sink them down. Yes,
here's something that they I don't know if they report this alongside with the murders and the rapes and the assault. I don't know if they report missing people in the annual report.
It's not even mentioned when they reappointed him.
Because we know that some of those missing people, they're dead.
Of course.
Right. But they don't put out that thing missing people, because that should be one of your functions too, to locate missing persons.
And the statistics that they put out, a lot of times have excluded people who they don't even know is missing. They don't have an accurate head count of who's really missing in Jamaica.
No. So when them do, them just put out something for us and they say, this a percent. Tell me how much in all. Just tell me and we will know the percentage. We will look up back on the other year before and them thing. They don't tell about percentage. Just tell we don't tell about percentage, Murders, how much murder, how much get raped. We can look it up and do the figures. Them don't do that. I can take a next call 1 minute.
Let me just say this.
Okay.
Dr. Chang was saying the reason why he was extended in the position and given the pay raise was that he has brought intelligence-driven policing
so
into the fray, and as the head of the constabulary, chief constable, that intelligence-driven asset that he brought to the fray has been helping them to solve more crimes.
So let me just hold it before we take a call. So right there, so alone, I hold it. That's why I say people don't listen to them politicians. I not listen to crab. Because I put in a barrel and roll. Me I chat straight. Them like tell people, boy, you under do arrest. You first say this and that. Don't go me alone. Them know them must ramp with. All right. So him said this man brought what tooth free. So like this man, I do something. Let me tell you something. Under this man watch. Just look on every year how much murder and them watch. You just reach your 2014. And if you don't go down under 1004, you know, I say nothing. You can't spend so much money and do much thing, brother. And this crab, number one, him not have the authority, him not have no morals, him not have nothing to speak on this neither. Him crab. You understand? And that's a foolishness, brother.
Let me just add a little piece to that.
Yes.
There is no way you can do intelligence collection, processing, dissemination, the way the Jamaica Constabulary Force is presently constructed. There's no way you can do it. You're going to need an intelligence center or a fusion center to do that, right? No. And this is homework for the Prime Minister, for the Prime Minister too, but for the Minister of National Security and especially the Police Commissioner. Somebody should ask him, and I know he's going to look it up now. Somebody should ask him, what is, since you're saying that, since the minister is saying that the commissioner's salary has been increased because he has brought intelligence, police intelligence led investigations to the fray, what he should ask him is, what is the intelligence cycle? I know this is homework. I know them going to read it now and look upon it and things, but here's what happened. They can't explain it, because I would love for them to sit down in front of me and Herb, right, who are intelligence professionals. I let them sit down in front of us, because I've worked in fusion centers. I've staffed intelligence centers. I've worked in infusion centers all over the world. I would like to sit down with them and ask them about intelligence, and you would see how much they know about intelligence. But no, you'd see how little they know about intelligence. So when you talk about intelligence and that thing, what they do a lot of times is that what they have information, is a tip. Somebody said this guy down the street, and they say, oh, it's intelligence. That's not intelligence. There's a difference between information and intelligence. And to this point, they still don't understand. I'll yield to her.
And for a fact, we know that the budget of the what's the tipping agency down there at PSOJ?
Crime Stop. They have Crime Stop.
Crime Stop. Crime Stop, as said, the budget gone through the roof with the amount of money they have to pay for tips, and that's because the police.
Them take.
Yeah, and
so tell me something now. Hold it right there. Yeah. So Crime Stop pay the amount of money for tip. I think you pay money when you make an arrest and it's right. That means somebody just call and say, anybody can get a tip and you just pay it out. But we don't see the arrest. We don't see nobody get sentenced to all these money if you pay out all these money. It don't match what crime. That means somebody thief some money.
Well,
because if you are getting a tip and the amount of money you pay out and you run out of money, we're supposed to see the tip and the money where you pay it's supposed to match the arrest and the conviction.
But that might be where the robbery and the larceny and the rape.
That is just a next thing. Them put money in a pocket, my brother. Yeah. Because if you check them, most of them, let me tell you this, Jamaica is a criminal state still, you know. You understand? Nobody watch how them stay and the position with them in anywhere them can squeeze money from. They're going to squeeze money. And at that we now want to prevent. And make them know so we know better than one attack, you know.
But here's another thing. February 2021, Chang said, Anthony Anderson has found his feet fully now, and to give him 18 months to get the murders under control. 18 months would have brought it to August of last year.
And what it do? It skyrocketed. Good. So me tell you, say anything will come out of them mouth back way, man. It's a back way thing. Me could take this caller. Caller.
Yeah. Evelyn, Mr. Renegades.
Yeah,
and Saratican and Herb. Yeah, great show yesterday. Very informative and insightful, you know. So I say congratulations on that, and I look forward to the continuation of it. What I say today now, concerning the present condition with Jamaica in, what me match it up with. Years ago, me come across a speech Marcus Garvey make, where he say, without commerce and industry, the people perish economically. And ever since me have that quote from Marcus Garvey right down in a book. So what me do now is me I study this thing now, and when me look on the industry them in Jamaica, me have a list, a short list, a more, but me have 5 industry or so. Ganja, reggae music, spring water, Blue Mountain coffee, and tourism. And me see a common thread they run through all of these industries. And the common thread is that the politician them go in the pirate house of parliament and create policy. And the policy we then create prevent majority of Jamaican people from setting up business and trading opportunities in these industries and all other industries in Jamaica. And that now contribute to the destruction and the perishing of the people economically. And this is done deliberately by both parties, because the two of them sit down in there and craft these policies. For example, ganja. Right now,
the former commissioner of police, Owen Ellington, have a ganja license, and the original ganja man them can't get no license. So that is one example how them use industry to suffer the people.
So all right, so the ganja board now. So let me answer that now. So I think Mark Gold in the draft of something, but it will benefit more ganja people like when they said before. But I see what's not. You have to know and read these things, right? All right. But the current government right now, them put who now are the chairperson, who upon the board now, that Flynn husband, Capburn Flynn. Look on the ganja board authority. Him, I don't know if it's smoke ganja, but I'm on it. Or in Ellington, them have an illegal field in a St. Thomas brother. Out of Yellow State, up near the river. And you know, via policeman, them have the legal field. Them have legal field and illegal field. A ganja where them go. Them have the license. Or in Ellington and Danville Walker, them the first medical marijuana them export out of Jamaica. Remember, these are the man who lock up people. What a company will lock up people for ganja, you know, and do everything, and then you and the government will give them the license, should never give them the license. You understand? Yeah. And then them must see some of the people on ganja board, authority board, and them come with a 10,000 US. But talk to somebody where they in it, you know, where come out, because they must say you have to pay you have to have like 50,000 US for start up, not 10,000. No, most of them ganja man, them don't have that money. The little man, them, remember enough of them get them record, them get record, you know, police record for these things, you know. You understand? There is no way you should not charge somebody for even do this. What the government should do. Right? And hear this Rattigan. Them people here, for decades, them suffer. Even Peter Touch them beat up for spliff. Man got prisoner of police record for spliff. So what me expect them supposed to do right now? You hear this now, fam? What do we expect them supposed to do? Yeah. Work with the farmers them, because we have the sunlight and we have the water and them plant good weed. And then you know, the government, you export that medical marijuana, employer you want to use it to go do what. And then you can get the liquor taxes and pay the people them. We could have built something we have to depend on tourism. A matter of fact, we in the diaspora give them more money than what tourism give them. Our money not come with, remember them just get money. Because we have family members and friends down there with us are sending money. So our money bigger than where even tourism thing are drawing. You understand? And then the investment from foreigners. And from the diaspora, you know. Them are tell about investment and I run out to you. We are coming in with investment that alone. Let me say, yo, no, lock out the original people for a little piece of rock, no mean them no good. Yeah. And then put red tape for even barrel where you are clear. And you just clear a barrel the other day with a old, you have some old equipment in there and the money with them charging, it's unbelievable. So them put red tape. Them red tape, them put around Jamaican people. Them in the pirate house, I put red tape for hold back the majority of Jamaican people. And the big boys them up there so in a PSOJ and the politician them, because PSOJ fees have them around Jamaica, you know. Them fees are them around Jamaica, but remember our money around Jamaica though. Because if I never our money PSOJ now, hey, Rattigan, if in the diaspora, if we not send no money, you know, PSOJ can use Jamaican for purchase, not all them now, the purchasing power boy, you know. We have to hold them accountable too.
None.
Have to make them know, of course.
None.
Come in, Rattigan.
You know what? One of the things were two things. One is the caller mentioned, you know, industry and commerce. With all those two, then you perish economically. And he said the 5 industries: ganja, spring water, tourism, reggae music, and tourism. Sorry, I mentioned tourism twice. There's another one: ganja, spring water, reggae music, tourism. There's a 5th one. Coffee. Yeah. Sorry about that. But what we should also mention alongside this is what you just mentioned now, a man in the wilderness, which is remittances.
Of course.
Because when them 5 I can't save Jamaica without the remittances, you know.
Nah.
Them 5 I cannot save
Jamaica.
Save
it. We save it.
The remittance.
Man.
And then the other thing too is that going back to the police commissioner, if you think about the way he has done things, And you look at somebody like Ellington, somebody who grew up, because people will tell you that Ellington was a progressive commissioner, despite his flaws, that he was a progressive, because the people below him respected him, and they felt that he had a plan to address the crime problem in Jamaica. And then you move him, he's gone, and then you look who you bring in. You bring in a military man. And then if you look at, and I've said it before, if you look at how the PM is staffing critical agencies, that should give you cause for concern.
Of course.
Because if you look at Mocha, I don't know who's leading it now, but I think, and Herb can answer this best, but I think it was led by it was led, I don't know if it's still being led by a military man, right? And remember now, they say Mocha, when it was created by Peter Bunting, he said it wanted to make it like an FBI style organization. So if you're going to make it an FBI style organization, what's a military guy doing in there? I don't understand that.
The problem is this. Colonel Turner runs Mocha. He used to work for General Anderson. And even though Mocha was legally separated from the JCF, everything I'm getting is, I'm being told that they're still following the playbook dictated by the JCF.
See?
Or dictated from the Prime Minister's office, which is based on the advice of General Anderson to the Prime Minister. He's still double dealing as a national security advisor, even though he's the Commissioner of Police.
No, here's another piece. What I would suggest to all your listeners, man in the wilderness, here's what I would suggest to all your listeners. Go ahead and look at a document called Consensus on Crime. And this was just before the 2020 election. It's a collaboration of the JCF, PSOJ, the People of Faith, NGOs, a whole bunch of groups of people. They got together, and they got together for the single purpose of coming up with a plan to deal with crime. Because remember now, the JCF, they don't have a crime plan. So they come up with this thing. What they have is the National Security Ministry have something called Plan Secure Jamaica, which they claim includes a crime plan, but we can't see it inside of the crime plan. So they were forced to come out with something called Consensus on Crime. Now, here's what Consensus on Crime did. It starts giving layers of priorities. And along with those layers of priorities, it starts putting out dates, which is what a crime plan should have. And it said, by a certain time, we will accomplish this. By a certain time, we'll accomplish. I need your, don't take my word for it, listeners and viewers. Go and pick up this plan. Look at that plan and tell me if they have complied with the deadlines. Because this is within the portfolio of the National Security Ministry. Just tell me if they've complied. And this is something that they themselves came up with in 2020 before the election. Peter Phillips was also a part of it too, right? They came up with this thing and everybody agreed that, okay, we need to do something about crime. Here is what we need to do. Here are the deadlines. So how is it that we are where we are now when they had a plan in 2020?
So let me ask you something now, Rattigan. Just repeat again for me. Sheldon, pick up yourself. Tell me one who upon that crime thing.
The consensus on crime. It was reached as a result of meetings.
No, call me the bodies of the groups.
Upon it? All right. Yes. It's JCF, Council of Churches, yeah, the NGOs, PSOJ, and a few other organizations.
All right. So I'm just answer this now. So all of them depend this and talk about crime.
Yes.
But them go to the root of crime. So and in them crime plan, them have something so make way reach out to the unattached kids them and the youths them and make sure this happen, make a create some employment and thing. Because remember, you know, the government will stop tell people about crime plan. Reason why, if you think about Biden, as a president right now, the most powerful country in the world, where him know about crime plan? Him have generals will develop skills and crime plan. And if anything happen to the country, them have the eyes to see. And even the police, them now come to him for him write them a crime plan. I know who write a crime plan. Them are have certain thing in the constitution and them to come up with them for the policing. The generals, them, if something and them say, okay, we have to shoot on this. But them advise him.
Right.
This not safe. We have to do this. And remember them now go, he'll advise him. Them have to advise him. More than one of them have all of these people. In a Jamaica, you know, you're voting for a politician when never do nothing in laws. In police, never train as a police. Okay? And then you turn a national security minister. And then I come tell me now, the prime minister, no, but you gotta tell me about crime plan. Deal with policies.
Well, here's where it gets even better. They had scheduled meetings. So they said, okay, we're gonna meet once a month or whatever time period was. After the election, the Minister of National Security, who was part of this consensus on crime, he no go at the meeting them. And when they call him out and say, but you're supposed to be leading this initiative, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I thought it was before the election to keep calm during the election so we don't have any issues. This is what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
So people, don't take my word for it. Just go and read yourself. Yeah.
But as I said before, as I say, you know, government, if you start thinking about, what people them must suffer, them now have the work. None of the kids them are supposed to go to them bed hungry. These are the things that help cut down crime. When animal hungry, them hunt. When people hungry, they may climb your tree. If them have something for survive, pan, why a man can come thief your mango when them have a nice mango tree in a female where mango drop off and everything, and they see a mango him have. Him not come over your yard. You understand what I say? So them need for the infrastructure, give the youth them job, compulsory thing the service back, but like back what them did have back in the days. You understand? Youth service. Them have to come up with some other things. That means you deter youth from entering, unattached youths. You get them, make it start back some apprenticeship or something. You understand? Create something for them. By the way, we're too small for we have so much Chinese and other people in our country that take with job. No, but a serious thing. Serious thing.
You know
if you have time you can carry these people. And when you advertise it, you gazette it, and we don't have no one for fill that gap, then you can't say we could carry a man from outside. We have UWI, where them a teach. We have enough people with skills and things. That's why I say we have to come back with apprenticeship and them thing there. If politicians really want to grow the country, farmers, them to start grow. Them to start grow and fix the farm road and do something that, let me tell you something, the greatest thing on earth, Any man, let me tell you, when you compare the greatest thing on earth right now for mankind are food and water. Now watch your house and you carry on them things because you can't survive without food and water, brother. So farmer for grow. We for self-sufficient. We for stop import food now. Instead of the land, them just have maca tree on it. And you're going to try something, then come take it from you. And when we look on the inside, nothing at all, that's maca tree. It's unbelievable. So if them really want to do something can happen in Jamaica better off, we can better off. And may I tell you say if you start a revolution in the way or you grow your food and or you cut up the alright. So if you're a farmer, me know, so me give you an acre, you plant it. If you not plant it, me not give you. You say if you see your neighbor start plant some cash crop and plant some other thing, you want an acre too, or a half an acre. You understand? So if you're not hungry, believe me, man, Jamaica can better off. And then we export food. When the ship come, the ship should all leave with the yam and banana and potato and everything. Not for a carrot come. You understand? They're not talking about crime plan. And in a PSOJ, the one of them will help mash up Jamaica and thief the resources. Yeah? And not talking about crime plan. Look what we dollar reach. You think a poor people don't have the money to make the dollar reach, yes, sir? And where them a buy? So remember, you buy, you import a lot of things, right? And when you look, you don't have the money for to buy this. The dollar go and devalue. It have to devalue. You understand? Because you talk about supply and demand, right? You understand? It's bad, man. Them for tell them about crime plan and all kind of things and do the right thing.
Yeah, economics.
Yes, man.
Yeah. Could I jump back in now?
Yeah, because I have a next caller, yeah? Yeah, man.
Yeah, I make a next point quick and give somebody else a chance. Yeah, next point I want to make now. On the same topic of how the politician create policy to prevent the people wealth generation capacity. We create a music, a multi-billion-dollar reggae music global industry. And the politician them again going at the parliament and create nice abatement act to hold on the music.
True.
So I want to suggest to you, Mr. Renegades, if you could have find a lawyer who specialize in a constitutional law. Because me have a feeling say the nice abatement act is unconstitutional and me feel it need a legal challenge to lick it down.
You know what?
And
Let me
full
answer you
reggae
now.
music
Let me
in
answer you.
Jamaica.
Let me answer you. Can I take a next card, yeah? That's why I listen it tough,
Yeah.
yeah? So the Nice Abatement Act really come for us hold us back. Because we used to do a lot of things, you know, but you know, like them say, hey, them have too much power, them have travel over the world too much. And you know, you have a chef who might travel with you. And you have some band member and you get to youth and you get up and you stand up side of them, but you know, you're not them, you know. Because them they're not you. Because them expect say if they are somebody to get you out. It get you out of the ghetto. And them are work for you long and you get up and you come make a name and you have more than them start for it. And then you open the people them eyes. So them come with that. Okay? The next thing with Nice Abatement Act. In a none of the hotel them, it not working at that, you know. If you go in a hotel right now, up at New Kingston, you can carry a sound system and play it. Nobody business with you. It not work for them, you know. Them all right, them not have to go to police. But me have my job, me. And me, you know, have to come to a police and go ask him to do my job. Or that to be constitutional. And when the police look at me and said, no, you can't play because you bond the government too much lonesome. You not going to keep no dance down there, so. And you not going to keep no stage show. I mean, you know. You breach for my rights, it's my work. And then if when me employ couple more my artist brethren, you know what that do? Directly and indirectly, it spend back in the ghettos and all kind of little things, you know, so it grow the economy, you know. And yesterday I mash me up. You know, provide no way at all for me keep the party and nothing, you know. Me I keep sure now. Me not forgot to no police to keep me sure. Me book my place and me keep me sure. You understand? If you pay your tax, you pay your tax. But you can't put my thing in a police and like that. That's stupid. Yes, Carla. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Nice program last night.
Yes.
And Rattigan, listen to me. We have a few burning issues. I need you to carry all those politicians every Sunday, one out of the batch every Sunday across the board. Don't stop. I'm going to give them some burning issues. If Philip Allen run last night.
No, but hear this now. No, Carla, I know why you get it wrong doing, because hear this now. That was all right. So I'm a politician, but it's not like me I do a thing for all politician where what is a governance where what so I'm not part of government. So more you get it straight, yeah? Yes. Them no want come. Yes.
We want them to do an audit with all of the youths that were in jail. Because I have enough youth in jail that locked up for years and not seen nobody. I could give you an instance with a youth that did lock up a Mandiver. In a Mandiver for 10 years. And when me did lock up in a Mandiver the time with him. One of my friends come in and they said, they keep 9 nights for you. Like they're not calling Lonesome. They say Lonesome, they don't keep 9 nights for you there long. Because he did do an act. And every time they make sure that if him big court, them don't carry him to court and he go and lock up in a prison for 10 years. So what I'm saying? The next thing, the youth service used to work, and my uncle was in the youth service. They used to graft mango, they used to plant orange seeds, soursop. They used to plant sour orange and graft it with the exit so you get them Anthony. Those programs need to come back. Who is the agriculture minister could need to come out and have it and go through Jamaica and go see the youth them in the community who are doing farming. So they could get them farm and get and can plant something else, get a program and get something for them to export and not import and kill the poor farmer them with fertilizers cost $10,000 for a bag of fertilizer. And when he plant a crop and come, you see him when I import, the same goods they have and kill you. So when you get back, he want to be planting fertilizer.
All right. Just go on, we'll answer them thing there, yes, sir? All right. Yeah, man. So with the lockup thing that, remember, you have prisoner never talk to me and me have a lot of advice with that's true. You remember the man who do around 40 days and him not get no charge or nothing? Because when you come from poor family background and everything, you know, that what them do to you. But although you see big boys and them commit crime and thief money and do all kind of things, you notice them for them foot can go in a jail. So him does tell us say him get locked up and them have one youth for 10 years. Them keep 9 nights for him. Not even the police. Him not got court. Enough more youth him right. Them need to do that. Enough more youth end up that way, you know. Some of them down the mad. It's a sad place. But you say Herb. Your phone, your mic. The mic?
Are you talking about the holding of people?
Yes.
In jail without
yeah, them lock you up. Them take you off the road, lock you up. Nobody know say them have it, them think you die.
Right.
And 3 years.
Well, we raised that question 2 years ago. And we the Institute of Caribbean Studies, and we started in St. Lucia. It spread to Guyana, it spread to Trinidad, it spread to Jamaica. And Jamaica ended up counting 155 people in prison without ever having been tried in court. And the question today is, how many of them? We know the one with 50 years and 40 years.
Okay.
But where are the rest of them? Did anybody keep check on how many of the 150 have been released? Right? I doubt it very much. But one interesting thing I will say to you, that looking back at the process that you guys mentioned before, which was the consensus, right? Whatever happened to Lloyd Distance and the working group that is supposed to be working on this thing?
That's it.
We haven't heard anything from him in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing definitive, right? They said they will support the use of the military. The military just graduated 323 or something graduates from the constabulary course, the police course, right? The question now, is that a part of what you mentioned a while ago, Will? Or is that a separate entity that they're going to now use these 300 plus military folks for some SWAT type assignments, special weapons and tactics into certain areas that need enhanced policing, right? Now, they talk about tribunals. Has any tribunal ever been formed anywhere in Jamaica?
Not to my knowledge.
I think when them just come up and they talk about it, but about somewhere down in a movie, they might have some tribunal set up on this. When them just come up with the state of emergency, I don't know, but I don't know what come of those things. Yeah.
Everything that they talk about concerning this plan don't seem to come to fruition as yet. And this is going on. This is from 2017.
Yes.
And nothing. Matter of fact, the update was on January 2022, and we don't see any of this stuff coming to fruition. Now, the impact of the money, right, and is what has led to a lot of crimes being solved, because people are hungry, they need money. So they're gonna talk. Inform of a dead, that seemed to be pushed to the wayside when it comes to the smaller crimes, right? But they avoid it when it comes to the murders, because murders inherently involve gangs.
I can tell you something. You see, if you're gonna call on a phone and them not gonna identify you and them can drop off your money, it causes a problem too, because that's why you find some people get charged and it's not them do the crime, because they have sometimes people are war, them use police to them war, and this me talk factual thing me talk about. This is not like hearsay and make up thing, right? Because me know a lot of people. All right, so What them do for them kind of war now, them call two set of man of war. Them call in police. So them man have to come over for them thing guide police or so that come in and what have you. And as the police drive out, them man raid them man so people are dead. Or them man do something and them same man people by your side call police and say them man there and call some name. No, you don't know on the phone, most likely there's some woman them I use and everything. So if them make some money, them can make some money. And you go blame a man. For and you have no money and you back him up. You just put murder upon him and you put where you put upon him and that's it. You understand? So we know a lot of people. We know people to where go to prison and them commit the crime, you know. I know people who go to prison and them commit the crime. And that's
Well, look at it. Look at it this way, Wayne. If I'm a gang leader and I have information on a bigger gang, better gang than me, I'd be calling Crime Stoppers and giving the tips.
And you get the money too.
And have the police arresting everybody in that other gang.
Yes.
You know? So, who knows? The one good point that they made
yes.
in the past was that when you arrest the gang leaders, it's just like in Mexico. They arrest all the top gang leaders of the cartels and everything. And what you now have instead of organized crime is disorganized crime, because now there is a struggle within the gangs for power.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Klansman gang demonstrated that very well, that there was a power struggle after what the leader the name tried to do the hit in Los Angeles.
William Curry.
And
from Klansman, black man you're talking?
Not black man. Black man took over from him.
Tasha Miller from Klansman?
Yeah. You just call his name. Right?
Mm.
So when the gangs are disorganized, then you have a harder time policing them up. And that's why the homicide rate hit the roof in Jamaica. Because the very same thing had happened down in Mexico.
Mm.
The U.S. and the Mexican authority went after all the top leaders in Mexico. And when they took them out,
you splinter it up.
They splinter it up, and then
killing
one another is a power struggle.
Yeah, but the U.S. the mind that, you know why it play good for the U.S. too, on an international level, right? Because if them carry over all the drugs now, when the fentanyl and all these things were very deadly, more than even coke, right? All right, so if you have the gang there and them intact, now them penetrate your land more, you're going to have more zombies in the U.S. because them fentanyl thing there, you know, school kids and everybody. But if you splinter it up and them are war with each other, them have to know them a move and everything, because them either get knocked me by them as because them a struggle for control and turf and everything. So it work out better for the US in our way. Because if you have 10,000 West and 10,000 and them a war, can you imagine if the 20,000 of them was friend and equal amount of send everything to the border, enough more to reach over the border, enough more. Them now fire one shot. You know what happened to US? You'd have a bag of zombies. People that left, right, and center. So when it part up in a US, that it play a better role, like in a Mexico. It better for them. And then law enforcement like that, you know, divided and rule, divided and conquer. But when they work in a one order, you know, I mean, it more effective and powerful. So you get a more trouble on your hand as law enforcement. Yes, man.
But law enforcement adds to the problem.
I know.
They themselves organize themselves as a gang.
Yes.
And you've seen that all over Jamaica.
Yes.
They are responsible for a lot of criminality that nobody been able to keep track on them, right? And if, let's assume that the inspector knows what's going on, or the assistant soup or deputy, if they know what's going on and they're profiting from the underworld activities of those officers, right? You have to root out those people out of the force. They have to go. And so maybe in bringing in the 323 military guys as constables, you're going to have somebody, when you're out there doing the job, when they say, "Oh, we're going to do X, Y, Z," and you realize something is not right, you say, "You got to hold tight. I got to call it into my headquarters and get clearance to do this," and that's how you're going to break up, that kind of activity, illegal activity amongst rotten police officers, right? So this criminalization of the police force is what led Anderson to taking money from the police force and giving it to the military to try and fill gaps that's in the police force. But if you have 15,000 officers and 10,000 of them are rotten, 323 trained military guys won't replace them.
Not only that though, Net, and not only that no Herb. But a lot of the same military guys without train, I can tell you a lot of them are criminals.
Well,
yes. And matter of fact, a lot of the war that go on, them involved in the war too. So you remember them come from the same ghetto areas and everything, you know. I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of the guys them where you see when they talk about we need truth and conciliation when it come to ghettos, this is what them don't understand, because what happen is you have revenge killing and reprisal killing still going on right now. Because somebody, all right, just last week, I think, them kill a guy in St. Elizabeth front of them, say I must see him niece and nephew them, right? Now, somebody kill your uncle front of you and you are maybe 5, 6, 7, 10. That now come out of your head. Now come out, you know. You understand? Traumatize you. And let me tell you this, if 5, 10 years run off, when you reach 18 or 20, you might have them in your head. You are grow about them, might have, you know, you identify them. Believe me, if you go on the wrong side of your boat, them, you can hurt them back. So you find out, so you have reprisal killing and them things. We need truth and cancellation. Now we need to set up some things, and as we said, the service, set up back some other little things, and the kids them like sponges. Yeah? Set up things to uplift the place. Make a move the zinc fence behind Sir Rattigan. Them zinc fence there, who are in Jamaica, who are get rid of them, right? And get people from houses. See them there? Want to see them? Yes, man. All right, so we want to get rid of them. Who are
behind you.
Yes, man. We want a real politician. We want to look out for the masses of people, not the handful, and then put in red tape for a good governance we are dealing with. So from a good government, with a whole government accountable, we not let them go. Yeah, man.
What about Dr. Herbert Gale and some of the fixes he's used in other countries like Belize, Trinidad, that had sometimes worse problems than we have right there in Kingston or in Montego Bay or Clarendon? Dr. Gale is now head of the socio-economic department at UWI. And he has plans that allow gang leaders, right, to be converted into local political leaders, maybe the CDC leadership,
yes,
or other leaderships that can make a contribution to the community. He has never been consulted by Holness, PM Holness, Prime Minister Holness, or anybody, Babsy Grange or anybody else. And he's waiting on the sideline to come in and give his ideas. Right? Now, this is a man that is well recognized in Latin America and the Caribbean, but he has never been called on. What's going on with that in Jamaica? I mean, I'm really curious about him being sidelined for so long and not used in Jamaica. He has to fly to different places. I'm thinking of bringing him to Haiti because the ICS we have a project set up to start on Haiti the end of this month.
All right, so you see, that's them. Remember 2019, if you can look, them get rid of the PMI, Rattigan, 2019. You remember the PMI used to go in a, peace management initiative.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Around 2019, them stopped funding it. The government, when it's the government stopped, fund this and said, I think even the ombudsman now, from the ombudsman come out and talk to the Falmouth, when name, the one where always accosted, Warmington. Them get rid of that too, that office. I'm saying it not relevant, and then them I get rid of that too. So these are for them kind of style. When you stand up against them with them foolishness, them get rid of things. And we the people for say no more, enough is enough. No more of this foolishness. This gang culture from the government. First of all, we have to clean the gang from out of the Enemy Morgan house, If you want to really clean up Jamaica, Where you say, Ratty?
All right. Let me just go back to the consensus on crime, the one where we talk about how various parties got involved and come up with a plan for deal with crime in Jamaica. No, a report came out in July. This came out. This was initiated in 2020 before the election, right? And they had timelines and deadlines. And there's a report that came out in July of 2022, 2 years later. And here's what the report says. It says, of the 30 targets expected to be met within this time frame, only 11 have been successfully delivered to date. So you see what I'm talking about. I'll get back to that, but let me talk. One of the callers mentioned Artenique, and let me just throw this out to the audience that the Artenique, that citrus fruit, it's a hybrid of the mandarin orange, that we call mandarin orange, and the tangerine. And in 1939, a Jamaican Dr. Phillips was recognized by the Jamaica Agricultural Society as the creator of this. And this fruit is now exported to many countries, including Panama, London, New Zealand, and Australia. Now, I mentioned that because I want to talk a little bit about food security. We hear a lot about, Jamaica can't feed itself and Jamaica can't do something. We hear about people importing things. Now, the problem is that we have importers bringing in produce that is being sold for far less than the farmers in Jamaica can afford to produce it and sell it. So them kill the market, even though the spice in Jamaica, the produce in Jamaica is more flavorful and better than what they're bringing in. Because remember, a lot of the produce they're bringing in, it's half ripe when it's shipping, or green when them ship it, and post ripe, as we say. Whereas the produce we are getting in Jamaica, the real thing. You ever smell like the thyme and the scallion from St. Elizabeth and them places there? And you compare it to where you get when completely different. But them kill the market, right? Then on top of that, don't forget that some of the most arable land, you can grow, you can build houses on stone.
Yes.
But in order to farm, you have to have a certain type of land, right? And some of the most productive land in Jamaica, them want to turn it in a housing scheme, right? Clifton and the surrounding areas down there, so where them used to plant sugar cane, is some of the most productive land in Jamaica. And this is what we want to do. Instead of get people involved in a farming again and subsidizing, supporting farming as a country, as a government, we say, no, we are going to build a house, right? And then, so where are people supposed to farm? Where are people supposed to farm? So the thinking is backwards. And it doesn't take a Wil Rattigan or a Wayne Lonesome or a Herb Nelson to figure this out. This is common sense. This is common sense. But them say common sense is not so common after all. It's a rare commodity.
True. Let me see the caller. Does I get a caller? Hey, how are you doing?
I am fine, thank you. I'm sorry about it.
Yes.
I am Edward, he was citizen before he passed away. He was running for MP in Statistical, but that's what passed away. He went again. And we were proposing a state membership program.
You know what? You can call me back because the phone is kind of chipping out. You're not hearing out properly, right?
No.
Can you just hang up and call me back same time? Can you hang up and call me back same time? Your phone is chipping out. Hang up and call me back same time. Okay. Yes, Ratty.
Yeah, so I mean, this food security thing here is a huge problem, and then on top of that, what compounds it even further is the fact that we get some free fertilizer, and the poor little farmers them who's supposed to use that now for kind of produce crops so that them can feed Jamaica. With them, we don't know where that. Up to now, we're still asking about that fertilizer, and we can't get anything. I mean, it's a no. We can't win. We can't win.
All right, Carla. Look here, we can hear better now.
Yes. You want people who run again the last election. He and I were brainstorming into a mentorship program for the farmers and youngsters, where they will work alongside a farm. Where the government should and would have training for the farmers, where they do like a 3-day, 2-day, 2-day and in craft, where they learn about the technical aspects of farm.
You know what? All right, you know what? Carla, you know what? Do something for me. Make I just cut it right there. Because I'm not hearing properly. Can you just send it in a voice note and I will play it? Just send it and I will play it. Yeah? I'm not hearing you properly. Send it in a voice note and I will play it right now. Okay. Yeah, it's easy that way, you have to find solution. The brain are very quick, You do the voice note, you play it, you hear it better because Twitter chip up. She just do the voice note. Yes, man.
Let's go back to the national consensus on crime, right? The same man that Herb just mentioned, Light Distant. He's the man who's spearheading this. And the report says the inability to meet these targets may hamper the national crime consensus, achieving the ultimate objective of reducing crime, violence, and corruption in Jamaica. This is expected to be done by creating a national program of initiatives and actions to transform Jamaica to become a safe, secure, and investment-friendly society. So see, they even come up with this plan. And I've gone through it. And they have a whole bunch of things, national security, this, that. And they can't even meet the deadlines. In fact, this gentleman, Lloyd Distant, he was on a radio program in New York when they were doing the public awareness thing, the PR thing for this program. And I came on the program after him. And I told the host, I said, listen, you just heard a bunch of fancy talk, I said, here's what you do. A year from now, call him and ask him if they meet them deadlines. And you will see what I'm talking about. I said, don't take my word for it. Just call him a year from now. And that took place in 2020. It's going on 3 years now. And they still, look at the crime rate. And with all the budget, look how much money they have. With all the budget, with all the oh, by the way, let me talk about Zozos. Zozos come up, they have this thing called clear, hold, and build. That is Zozo, where them clear the area of the bad people, them hold it, protect it from them coming back, and then they build so that the community won't have to rely on these bad guys as a support system, because that's what they were claiming, that the gangs, they have replaced the government as a support system. And so people are more favorable to these gangs. But once you get rid of them and the government start provide services, training centers, community centers, jobs, medical facilities, all these things, schools, then they wouldn't need these men. Then they went to the very first one was in a place, the name escapes me now, in St. James. I don't remember, because it was supposed to be done based on crime statistics, the world places get it first. I don't remember how the name escapes me now. But they took it to a place that where Jamaica had many more places with higher crime rates than this place. And so what they should have realized is that this thing is going to take money, right? But they sold it to the people. They sold it to the people and said, this is a panacea. This is a cure for all of the crime problems. And when last you hear about a Zozo, you hear about, you hear about state of emergency. Because you know why? Because state of emergency is different from a Zozo because it doesn't come with a price tag like a Zozo. right? And it doesn't come with the length of time as a Zozo. So now you don't hear anything more about Zozo more than so, because Zozos are expensive. They cannot afford it. So again, common sense.
Yeah. Yes,
Not so common after all.
All right. Herb, we see we're running out of time, but Herb, statement before we run now.
Yeah, last night, the not minister, but the member of parliament that was on, he mentioned in his crime plan he wanted to have technology, right? And he also alluded to the fact that we have to give up something. We, meaning the people of Jamaica, have to give up something to enjoy a better life, all right? Especially if technology is brought in. And you have a thing called, it's a portable biometric system called MORIS, Mobile Offender Recognition and Information System. Now they're computerizing everything. If MORIS is brought to Jamaica and introduced, right? The police can even use an iPhone, Apple iPhone, to scan somebody's fingerprint or take a photo of their face that takes the iris, the eyes. And right away, it scans the database, wherever the police database is, and it gives them whether or not this person is currently wanted or this person has outstanding traffic tickets, whatever it is the person has, or if the person is clean. Because usually if you use this instrument, if you have a high burglary area or larceny or whatever is happening in the area, and you on patrol and you see people running down the street and you stop them and you scan them, but there's nothing in the system on them, all right? And then say a week later you're in another area of high crime and you see the same people walking down the street again, because they do have a stop and frisk program in Jamaica, whether they want to admit it or not. If you scan them again and you keep coming up with these guys and you find that they're in 5 different areas where all these burglars and larceny are happening, then you have a consensus that it's a high probability that you do have the people responsible for those burglaries and larcenies. So the MORI system has been highly effective for offender recognition and knowing who it is you're stopping and talking to on the street, because it retained that biometric information. It put it in, you probably need cloud computing. See, if they had listened to us before and done what we call enterprise computing, that means all of government concept would be on a star system, distributed computing system. And you could check across all of government to see what this person's profile is, whether it's a person driving out of Beverly Hills, Forest Hills, or down in Western Kingston or Maypen in Clarendon. You have the profile right away. You can tell whatever you need to tell about this person.
All right. Well, we see some time to wrap up, so but we're running up because I tell you, place hot. Yeah, man, Rattigan, the place hot. Commissioner in the future, commissioner have to move the goods, so goods. Real commissioner come to take over.
You need to promote Rattigan, man. You need to be Minister of National Security.
But you're the national security
No,
advisor.
but Herb, you know, the Prime Minister of National Security, you can't have dual citizenship because it's a ministerial position.
Well, you know, them want to vote an exception.
Oh yeah, by the way, you're right, because right now them are talk about a constitutional amendment to replace the king or the queen as the head of state. So you're right, them can add this to it.
They can do it.
Yeah.
All right, look, we do it now.
They can do whatever they want to.
When they are knocking here.
Yeah, man, big up yourself.
Yeah.
Bless up.
Yeah,
Bless
man.
up, my brother.
Cool.